To the YouTube crowd, whoever's watching for the first few minutes. I don't know if I'm late, but hey, Sylvia, good juju, how's it going? Southpaw, hi. How's everybody doing today? Oh, hey, getting touchy nails. How's it going? Yeah, I'm a little. I don't know if I'm late. Normally I come on at 9, so I guess it's 10 minutes after that. But how's it going? How are you doing? Oh, I'm good. I'm just waking up, drinking coffee, and hyping myself up for this, getting ready. Um, I might like start doing this at 10 a.m. instead of 9 a.m. I'm not sure yet though. We'll see. Good morning, the guidance channeler. How are you doing? Oh man, how's everybody's morning? Hey, that's awesome. I ooh, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to channel. Oof. Ooh, they're just stepping me up for this. Yeah, so typically with the Q and channel A, so if anyone has any questions or wants me to pull a card, yeah, I would love to. I love that question. Let's channel about opening the third eye. Great to see you too. Hey, from the UK. This is me from around Chicago in the US. You're welcome, Southpaw. Okay, so we've got our first. I'm gonna take another sip of coffee real quickly, and then we'll start channeling. Okay, so yeah, about opening the third eye. So the first thing they're talking about is intention. They might go full channel mode into here in a second here. And in fact, that's what they're saying. um, so the first thing I hear is intention, and okay. Welcome. The first thing to consider when opening your third eye is that you have all the capability you need to open any of your chakras at any given moment in time, like moving a muscle. We know this is a bit different of a framework than many have given you in the past, such as a practitioner or someone who has uploaded a YouTube video saying that it will take 9 months to open this chakra, We would like to tell you that is not true. In fact, you can open any chakra at any time simply through intention. And if you are not sure how to do this, simply ask. I ask for my third eye to open. That is advice that we frequently give, is just ask. But what we want to impart with you is that setting an intention can be a potent way to create anything in your reality, to manifest, to open a chakra, to move forward in the best directions for you. Other ways we would recommend are, of course, energy work, getting a Reiki session. These things can balance and align the chakras. If there are any blockages, this can help remove anything that is impeding you from opening your third eye, or also, it can help you to shift beliefs that would keep you from believing your intuition, if that makes sense, from trusting yourself. So both through energy work, yes, through intention, and through any sort of work that is intention-based, you can begin to align your chakras. Even simply meditating on each of the chakras with the intention that as you meditate and put your awareness on each of the chakras they balance out, they will begin to balance out. If you are unsure of how to go about any of this, we also recommend even just looking up a Reiki session on YouTube that helps the third eye. This too can help to open it, if that makes sense. We would also venture to say that when you go to open your third eye, you are trying to open your awareness and your intuition. So asking the universe to help you develop your intuition in the ways that would be highest and best for you is also a good way to skirt around the issue of opening the third eye. And we will not say you need to have a open third eye to be fully intuitive. You can have a mostly open and balanced third eye and you will be intuitive. In fact, you can be intuitive all of the time, both through your energy sensitivity, through the visuals you get. You do not have to be fully open at all the times to be fully intuitive. And this is a bit of a new information that we are bringing through for you. You may not hear this very often, but it does not diminish the benefits of opening your third eye. This is what we would like to say, is that opening your third eye is great, but if what you would actually like is intuition, or what you are actually trying to get is something else by opening your third eye, why not set both intentions? I ask that my third eye is opened fully in the highest and best ways for me, clean and clear of anything not for my highest good, and that my intuition skyrockets and allows me to see it more clearly in my life. Those are the tools we would like to leave you off with, and we hope that sees you well. Okay, so yeah. So those are some tricks. If we're also talking about intention, like having a certain crystal like iolite or tanzanite can also be a good idea. That can also help open the third eye and balance those things out, or things that are said to bring in intuition. Um, if you want to work with an archangel to help your intuition, Archangel Haniel is good. Um, and or I guess Archangel Uriel is said to help with developing psychic gifts. I hope that helps. But cool question. I hope that helps. No real wrong way to go about it. The guidance channeler. Do you remember when you channel? I don't remember afterwards. I do. I'm present when I channel. So I guess, but the answer could also be yes and no. Sometimes I need someone to jog my memory and be like, oh yeah, I did say that. And then sometimes, or well, not really me, but I did bring that through. And then other times I will remember, or I'll remember key points. It really depends. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second. Coming back from the channeling. Um, You're goosing. Will I live in SA forever? I get no. Um, you may or may you might have to penny pinch or save up, but I do feel like it is possible to move out one way or another. I would definitely like keep asking and praying for it, and it's one of those things where like when it finally happens and you're setting the intention and it manifests, you're like, oh my god, I can do this, or maybe you already know you can manifest, but um, you're not stuck forever, if that makes sense. I hope that helps. Um, Texas Jess, anything general for you today? Yeah, let's see. Um, you probably already know this, but first thing that's coming through is you're on the right path. I really make sure you're trusting yourself, Texas Jess. I actually feel like your intuition is skyrocketing. Honestly, I think, and you do have they're saying you have a potent ability to help others, but that seems a bit vague to me. So let's see what else they want to bring through. um, One thing they want to say as well is just a reminder to speak wisely, and I don't like the word carefully, but choose your words with wisdom, if that makes sense, and make sure you're saying what you mean. Um, if you're having communication issues, I feel like they are going to resolve quickly if you've had anything like that. Um, what they're saying is like sometimes it takes a second for things to smooth over after Mercury in retrograde. So if that resonates for you, that resonates for you. Perfect. I'm gonna pull some cards. I want to pull a card for you as well. What you guys want to say? Okay. Archangel Mary. So open your heart with compassion and fold others in with love. What's the meaning for Texas Jess? And they're really pointing my eyes to the newborn on the card here. But really the message I'm getting with that and what they're pointing my eyes to is nurture yourself, and make sure you're taken care of. Because it can be tempting to take care of everyone around you, and be there for everyone else, but sometimes you just need 5 minutes or whatever you need. So just make sure make sure you're either asking you what you need and showing up for you, or just otherwise providing for yourself as well. And don't be afraid to ask for help from others either. I do feel like, I don't know if this resonates, you have a new foundation coming in as well. So what's that about? I do see something about a new beginning at some points, but make sure you're standing in your truth is something they're saying as well. Archangel Michael, make sure you're standing in your truth, but you are protected through any changes or anything else. And Guardian Angel popping out as well. But that's what I'm getting for you, Texas Jess. I hope that helps. And this card popped out. They're saying getting out in nature might be a good idea as well. And they're also pointing my eyes to the butterfly and saying evolution. So I would pay attention to your evolution. I would make sure your things are going in the direction you want them to go, if that makes sense. They will, but it's just that's what I'm getting. I hope that helps and makes sense. It resonates. Texas Jess. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Okay. Just woke up, so I'm still drinking coffee. All right. By the way, guys, I just do these as I go to these, answer these questions as I'm guided to. I'll try to get through as many as I can, and we'll see what I can do. Getting tipsy nails. I do. I just taught a Reiki class yesterday, so I do, and I'm actually I have some projects I'm working on that actually very similar to the topic you just asked about earlier. That will be available as well sometime soon. Um, but yeah, if feel free to, if you want to contact me through my website, we can set something up like a Reiki session. Um, I don't really have it on the scheduler, but you can reach out that way, and the prices will pretty much be the same as a reading. Um, but that is something I have available as well. Sarah Jean was my lover. Good to see ya. So the first thing that comes out is Lady Gaia, this card, and they're singing the song. You have the whole, like, he has the whole world in his hands. So the first message I get for you is trust that on a grand scale, everything is taken care of. For some reason, let's see. I feel like things are going to be fluctuating for a bit. I believe this is based on what they're saying. It's for you. It may be your personal life. It is all leading to better. I kind of feel like it's like, consider it this way. Like sometimes when someone gets an upgrade or like a spiritual upgrade in their energetic systems, your energies and your fields kind of restructure and kind of integrate and like maybe rebuild or expand. And it's kind of like what I saw, because there's this like download on the card coming in with the rose petals that coming onto this angel. So to speak. And like what I saw was like that was coming in for you, but your energy fields were kind of fluctuating. But they gave me some other words, which is what I said to you. So if things need to fluctuate, I would just kind of give them space to fluctuate and not worry so much. I feel like sometimes like like I guess the message that's also coming through on top of that is like waves in the ocean aren't a big deal. At the end of the day, at a certain point, they'll settle down, if that makes sense, or you'll have calmer waters eventually. So it's like any fluctuation you're going through is natural, I want to say. It's definitely not to worry. I guess it's another message is it's okay if things get a little rowdy, if that makes any sense to you in your life. So let's see. I'm also getting for you, now's a great time to get creative. And take on any creative endeavors if you've been wanting to, whether that's just painting or music or whatever that is for you, or just creating in general. I feel like just creativity is definitely on a rise, and that's something I've seen some other people I will watch bring through as well, but that's coming through for you. And trust that you're infinite, by the way, and any intention you want to set, now is a great time to set intentions and manifest. I honestly feel like that would be very beneficial for you. I think like you have a lot of potency. I feel like it may or might be a little untapped, or like you kind of know it's there but you don't always utilize it. So now's a great time just to kind of dig deep and see what you want and manifest it. Ask for it, write it down, whatever your process is. I feel like you'll see a lot of fruition with your manifestations if you do that really soon for whatever reason. And I guess like they're pointing my eyes to this dove on this card with the little twig, and he's all like, being a dove. But the words I get when they point my eyes to the dove are hope, grace, and peace. I feel like that's on the rise. I feel like talking about that fluctuation we were talking about, that's going to get smoothed over actually in the near future, and I think you're going to have some peace and like finally feel very centered is what I'm getting. So what else? I think that's the gist. That's what I'm getting for you. They also want to say you're a great person. Never doubt yourself. I feel like you're here to do really cool things. I think like even if that's just a conversation in the grocery store that helps someone, that can have an impact, not limiting you to that. You can do whatever really cool things means to you. That's what they're saying. Definitely keep in mind you are also elevating at this time. They're showing me the hawk on this card, so they just want to let you know that you're elevating. So that's what I'm getting for you. I hope that helps. It makes sense. Um, let's see. Next question, please. Mm. Caitlin's. Oh, thank you, Sarah Jean, for the roses. Caitlin Stridham asks, "Is Zane my soulmate?" Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why are you? What are you doing? Okay. Sorry. um. Let's see. So Caitlin Stridham asked. Sorry, I needed a second. I just muted someone, so I'm like, what is going on? Is Zane my soulmate? So the message I get is like, yeah, but it's one of many. And okay, so let's get to definitions of soulmate really quickly. So like if you mean like is he like your one and like the one you're supposed to be with? No, I do get no. Like as far as soulmates is like someone you've shared past lives with. Yeah, but one of many. And honestly, the message I get overall is move along. I mean, if it's not a healthy relationship, if you're already seeing him, it's let's see. I just overall get not the best option, perhaps, and take that as it resonates. That if you're already in a like a committed relationship with this person, that doesn't necessarily mean like ditch them right now. That's just what's coming through right now. So, oh, thank you so much for the necklace. That was cool. Um, but that is what I get. I hope that helps, Caitlin. Um, mm, 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 mm. Teacher 13. Will my side business bring in money or wasting time? Um, I get it will eventually, or the word they're just saying it will eventually. Not a waste of time. Um, Even if it doesn't bring as much money right away as you're hoping for, it is building skills and talents, if that makes sense, and it's wisdom for down the road as well. So, but honestly, the advice I also get is keep going with it. I think it will help in the future. Just what else? Come on, a little more clarity. I guess like the overall message is like if it does it, if it's not bringing in money after a while, make sure it's not bringing in like or sorry, make sure you're not like spending all your time on it, like in a year if it's still not making adequate money, if that makes sense. um Take the lessons and move along. If it doesn't work out, will it work out eventually? I think it will work out, but you have to stick to it. Archangel Hope popping out, which is like hope on the horizon. Look for a cosmic gift from where you deserve it. Um, I do kind of see you switching it up with that business. And as soon as I said that, Archangel Charity, which is about, well, be open and give with an open heart, be generous. But to me, because there's this like bowl with all this fruit and these coins, it's abundance. And usually this card means abundance as far as the messages I get when I pull it, and that's what it meant when I flipped it open there. So I feel like switching it up a little bit will bring in the abundance you're looking for as well. Hope that helps, teacher. Not a waste of time. um, but you probably will switch it up with that. MKLC555 asked, "Ooh, thanks for the paper crane. That's cool. I appreciate that. Oh, thanks for the roses, teacher. I appreciate that. Why is the connection between my dog and I so strong? I actually do get a soulmate kind of connection there. And again, that's not like uh, going to reiterate the definition of soulmates for me. It's not like the one you're destined to be with. It's someone you've shared past lives with. Your souls really have a connection. Um, so that's a thing. And like dogs can really be, or pets can be very in tune. And I feel like especially when you're someone who's aware and energetically sensitive and like telepathic, because I've definitely had telepathic moments with pets, or like I'll go over to a friend's house and my guides and I'll all of a sudden I'm like channeling about their pet and doing an intuitive reading, and I can just kind of see the energies between, or the dynamics between the pet and the owner. I'll be like, oh, like you can just kind of see a pet really love someone, or they really care, and like even if they're like super mischievous, or they can be like a a bit of a brat, I guess, to avoid using a swear word. Um, but there really can be an energetic and emotional connection with animals and like a telepathic communication. Um, I do really feel like animals are so much more intelligent than we give them credit for, because they can be very intuitive and in tune, and they can, I've totally seen, when people channel, to me, when I look at people and they start channeling, even if they're not like consciously, cognitively aware of what they're doing, or just like when it turns into, so sorry, Stuart, I don't know who you are. When it turns into like universe working through someone mode, there's like a certain look in their eyes, like there's a certain light that's there. It's I don't know how to describe it, but I've seen it in multiple people there's people who will kind of go into universe working through them mode, and they don't necessarily close their eyes and go channel, but they are channeling, if that makes sense. And so that happens with pets as well. I've seen like universe works through the cat mode and universe works through the dog mode. It's very interesting, but I think like I feel like animals and their gifts are underrated, if that makes sense. So hopefully that makes sense and answers that for you. I do feel like that is a special dog, is also what I'd like to say. Not your average pup. So I hope that helps. um, and sometimes animals are here to help us in ways people can't, is another message that they're bringing through as well. Trinic 97. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. I think you're complimenting me. You are awesome. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that compliment. What should I be doing next spiritually? Tricky Nikki 97. This might sound pretty obvious, but the first word they're saying is meditate. But let's see what else they bring through. Now is a great time to hone in on your connection and get really centered on what's true for you. Because there is a lot of information floating out there, if that makes sense, on the internet, online. And it can be a little bit tricky if you get too inundated with too many people and too many perspectives, because then you're just like, what's real anymore? So I really like taking a step back and like pulling cards for yourself. I would try to not watch too many different tarot readers, pick like one or two or maybe three that really resonate and kind of speak truth that resonates to you, if that makes sense. If you watch general readings online, that's something they're saying, and just make sure like they're people who really resonate with you on a soul level, and who the words resonate, because it can just be a little bit disconcerting when you're like da 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 da, things are good, and then all of a sudden like tarot reader number 47 throws a curveball out of left field that they heard from some guru on talk radio at 3 a.m. that they just felt was a good time to, not trying to call anyone out here, regurgitate, and all of a sudden you're kind of like left there for like a day, like what's true now, because that conflicts with this person, and then this person conflicts with that. So all that to say, just make sure you're getting centered on what's true for you. I do get magic is on the rise for you with this unicorn card popping out. So Archangel Christiel, connect with unicorns, receive the white ascension flame. Maybe connecting with unicorns and the unicorn spirit animal is something that would be good for you. But essentially, like, I feel like as long as you're tuning in with your heart, you're good. But magic is going to be on the rise, which just means, to me, that's what does that mean for you? I feel like that's manifesting. That's realizing you are magic, realizing you have a potent ability to create your reality. What else would help you? I hope that makes sense as the next steps. You are psychic, by the way. They're pointing my eyes at this ball, which looks like a crystal ball, and the words they gave me was you're psychic. So that's something you can develop, if that makes sense. But tuning in with your heart and getting centered on what's true for you and getting really clear on that would be what I would say. And there's more. I feel like as long as you're doing something in life that resonates for you, you're golden. I feel like that pertains more to spirituality, because sometimes our day jobs don't resonate with us, or whatever you do during the day. But as long as spiritually what you're doing is resonating, that's perfect. Don't go out of your way to make someone else's this is a weird message. Don't go out of your way to make someone else's reality real if it's not real for you. And what do I mean by that? Give me an example, guys. For instance, if your friend really loves like a spiritual teacher, and maybe this isn't the exact analogy, but if your friend really likes a spiritual teacher and wants you to come along, but you're like, I don't like that person, like you don't have to go along. Does that make sense? I don't know if that fully lines up with the message I brought through, but that's what I'm getting. Hey Deja, how's it going? Universe's Child 22. Oh, when will I meet the one? Because I for some reason I just read, will I meet the one? I'm like, yep, you will. When will she meet the one? Be patient. That's coming. I would give it a year, but just make sure you're putting that intention out there. I do feel like you need time right now. If you feel like you need time to recollect yourself, I would take that time. And just make sure you're really good within yourself before you jump into a relationship. Is something else they want to bring through. Hope that helps. That makes sense. I'm not saying you're not ready. It's more just like that's some of the advice I'm getting. Okay. Brusson 12. Any guidance for you? How are you doing, by the way? Good to see you. I do feel like this Archangel Raphael popped out here. I do feel like inner healing is a good idea for you, Brosson 12. Even if that's just taking 2 minutes a day to like sit with yourself and be like, okay, I'm just gonna, set some good intentions for myself. I'm gonna ask what I need, if that makes sense. They're pointing my eyes to the newborn on this card. What they're saying with this one is you're birthing new. So, and sometimes that can take a toll, if that makes sense. Oh, go ahead and unmute Southpaw and give her another chance. She was really excited for the live. I'm so sorry, whoever did that. I'm not trying to. But unless it was a different Southpaw. Anyways, going back to Brusson. Thanks so much, Deja. Give Southpaw a chance. Thanks so much, Deja. I really appreciate you and all the work you do. Oh, no worries, Southpaw. So you're birthing the new. So pay attention to your ideas and just pay attention to like the next steps. I think it's just like I'm actually getting some of these next steps are actually crucial, like some of the things that show up. So just make sure you're following what you really want to do is what I want to bring through for you, if that makes sense, and not just like going along with the crowd or getting lost with the crowd, if that makes sense. But they're also saying you're actually a really cool person. Now is definitely a time to tune into your inner wisdom and just really make sure what you're doing is what you want to do, if that makes sense. That's what I'm getting. There is more. What else do they want to bring through? We do have Guardian Angel popping out, so you are definitely, you're guarded, you're protected, you're looked after in the good ways, if that makes sense. I really actually feel like there's not a lot to worry about, sometimes contrary to popular belief, but there's not a lot to worry about is the message. Definitely pay attention to feathers as a sign. They're pointing my eyes to this little feather that you can kind of see, but kind of not see on the card. Because you are protected. And you are getting downloads as well. They're pointing my eyes to these. I believe you can barely see it on the camera here, but there's these 7 stars. I'm pretty sure that's the Pleiades, but I don't really know. But what they were saying when they pointed my eyes to that was like, just you're getting downloads, and you are upshifting. And yep, confirmation. We just pulled out Archangel Metatron, which is very much about upgrades and I feel like this is very collective with new beginnings. But here's this card. Welcome new beginnings, let the sun shine in your life. I feel like there is a new beginning on the way for you, but that is what I hear for you. I hope that makes sense, Brosson. And weird message, and the message I'm getting is like there's nothing you've done wrong, and I feel like that's about a recent circumstance. if you feel like you messed up, like you haven't, is kind of like what I'm getting. And it's like sometimes, because they're pointing my eyes to this bowl here, and it's like that Japanese thing, like when a bowl breaks, they fix it with gold leaf to show that when, like, where you break makes you beautiful, something like that. But I'm not saying you broke. I think it's like, if you felt like you broke something, you didn't. I don't know how to describe what I'm, if this makes sense, like what I'm getting here. I think like, sometimes we think we like wrecked something, but we didn't, and it's actually like okay, and the universe can 100% make amends out of it. So any recent mistakes, like I feel like it's totally resolvable, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Hope that helps, Brawson. Hope that makes sense. Um, 2 Robinson 235. Power Eternal, is my heart chakra activated? I do get yes, but it's upshifting more. Um, Interesting message is like if you're meditating or sitting with it, I would keep breathing energy into it just to help activate it more, if that's what you want. Good morning, Sign of Moon Girl. Good to see ya. Jenny Robinson 235. Anything for you? I feel like 2 messages came through right away. 1, fly high. 2, you're about, they're pointing the eyes to this scroll here, and for whatever reason, for this for the purposes of this reading, you're about to graduate is what they're saying with that, because they kind of like put a little cap, like a graduation cap on Uriel here, and they're like, oh, you're about to graduate. So I feel like in life, and maybe not literally graduate from like high school or college or whatever, but graduating from certain life circumstances or kind of leveling up, is kind of the message. And sometimes it takes a few weeks or months to like shift after that like graduation point. So if you see like graduation caps or anything as a sign, like take that as confirmation. But I feel like you're graduating to a new paradigm as well, and just like a new understanding of the world around you. Definitely upshifting. And we just jumped out to Archangel Metatron again, confirmation, because this is about increase your light levels, open your stellar gateway chakra. Definitely like a bit of an upgrade card. I feel like if you're afraid, or if there's any fears or like doubts or concerns, like you're afraid for nothing, is the message that came through when I pulled this card out, is you're afraid for nothing. If you don't have love, you do have love on the way. I really feel like that's something that's like in the cards for you, or increased love in your life in general as well. And if you're worried, you will be abundant. That's something that's popping out as well. We have the Archangel Charity card popping out here. So not to worry there. Interesting side message as well is like you're meant to be a messenger. And what does that mean? Either I feel like you're meant to deliver messages, whether that's like channeled or whether that's just like unbeknownst to you. I feel like you're someone who delivers the messages that need to be heard when someone needs to hear them, if that makes sense. I feel like the more you're honing your intuition, the more that comes into play, whether you're pulling cards, doing readings, or just like you're just kind of like feel compelled to say something to someone in a conversation. I feel like you are someone who brings through messages for other people, or you can. It's kind of like a life skill. So I do get that that's an important role. So if that's something you feel called to work on, I would. Because I feel like you're, in a way, you're meant to be a messenger. Hope that makes sense. Also, don't shoot any messengers in your life. And you know what, just kind of in tandem with that last message was Seraphim Seraphiel, tune into the divine will, open to higher illumination. And that can definitely be about higher realization, about channeling, about being illuminated and illuminating. And again, with these birds and like Archangel Buckbeak, it's time to fly, listen to your intuition. So what's up with the fly high and time to fly and the birds? I feel like it is about elevating your soul so you can receive messages, either to a greater degree if you already do, or just to start doing that. It is time to fly. I hope that it resonates. I feel like that's physically as well. Maybe not literally like flying in an airplane, though. It could be. It's more just like it's like flying the coop. It's being free. So whatever you need to do to create freedom in your life and escape from any things that feel like traps, I would do that. Hope that helps. Hope that makes sense and resonates. Hey, Be Divine, how's it going? And Prince Priestess, I saw you say hello. How are you doing? I'm well. I'm in the zone. I'm in the moment. I'm doing the readings. Having a good time. Jenny, will I ever trust enough to have a companion? Yes. But I do feel like in a way that is also up to you to do that work, if that makes sense. And I do get that you will. I think it's like if you're not sure how to go about that, you can be like, universe, what do I need to trust again? And of course, you mean like in romantic scenarios, most likely, as far as the companion thing goes. But whatever you can do to start walking yourself into trust, whether that's honing your intuition so you have a better read on people from the get-go, or if you already knew, it's trusting that knowing before you leap into something that's detrimental. Okay, I was gonna go somewhere, but my guys are like, don't go there. I'm like, okay. But what else? I feel like you're learning to trust slowly, and sometimes one thing they want to say is at least you're acknowledging it. That can really open the doorway to healing, is just acknowledging like, okay, I have this issue. When can I trust again? What will it take for me to trust again? And putting that out there, like it's, they want me to say it, but you hear me talk about all the time where it's like, just ask. And it did take a lot of different like things falling into place before this whole idea of just ask really downloaded or was channeled to me, or I had that culmination of realizations. But there's a couple ways you can go about things when you're asking. For me, if I'm asking a question with the intention to get a channeled answer or an answer from the universe, I'll get a channeled answer or an answer from the universe. If I'm asking a question with the intention that the universe manifests an answer, so that in a way my asking that question is a manifestation, then that happens. So for instance, if I were to ask, an example you could use is like, and with this question, you're setting the intention that the universe manifests the answer. What will it take for me to trust again in ways where I can have a fulfilling partnership? And then the universe starts lining up the events, the people, the places, the wisdom, the things you need to hear, the articles, whatever it is you need, the healing sessions that bring you to that manifestation and outcome, if that makes sense. And if you don't like, if you're not sure about that methodology, you can just be like, universe, show me what it will take for me to trust again. So, and show me what it will take for me to have another companion that I can trust. But I do feel like a lot of this is going to be inner work. You do have what it takes, and from the universe, best of luck to you. You will get there. And you know what? As I said, you will get there. Archangel Hope popping out here on the card deck. And like, what I'm doing is like, I just have my guys just like, will just like reach and just like flip open a card, and that's what comes out. So that's what I mean by like a card popping out is just like, I'm not even thinking about it. It's just like, whoop. I'm like, oh, there we go. So that's what I mean by that. Hope that makes sense. Call me Jess. Am I close to finding a new partnership? Closer than you realize. I do actually feel like it's around the corner. I would give it a little bit, but it's definitely coming up pretty soon. I'd say like maybe within, I kind of get within the year, but be flexible on the timing. Don't put all your eggs on that. Don't put too much pressure on it when I say that, if that makes sense. But yes, answer I'm good is yes. Okay. Next question. All that jazz 92. Hydrate. Yeah, in a second. No, I actually do need water. My guys are like, you need water. Oh, okay. Fine. Drink the water. Sorry, just busting my water. I feel like I'm missing like fun things in the chat, but that's okay. As long as if you guys are having fun, that's perfect. By the way, I want to say I'm grateful to the moderators so much. We have Deja, we have Texas Jess, Beta Vine is here. I just wanted to say thank you so much. I did a live on Friday evening, which I'm posting the recording, which is actually a bunch of general readings. It's actually general readings, timeless reading for all the signs by element. So you have the fire signs, earth signs, water signs, air signs, and the collective message. And then we also did, we did that. So that'll be up today if anyone's interested. But I forgot to thank the moderators on Friday night. So I wanted to say thank you guys. Be Divine, you were there. I wanted to thank everyone who showed up and was there for that, and the moderators for helping out with that as well. Thank you guys so much. Okay, all that jazz. 92. Upcoming blessings and career. Overall, I do see energies of abundance. The other blessing I'm getting for you is refinement of character, the exact words they said, where you're just going to be refining you and coming into I feel like the ways you want to be, you're going to start doing that and being that is what I'm getting. That's coming up as well. I feel like people that you actually enjoy being around, that's another blessing that's in the cards for you and in the works for you as well. A lot of what you're manifesting is coming to fruition, by the way. That's something they're also saying. I do feel like you're going to be hitting new levels. That might be next year where you really feel like you are hitting new levels, all that jazz. That is what I get. And if you want to be intuitive, if you're not already, you can be, is something they're saying. That's something you definitely have the capability of growing and expanding and being high caliber with. Yeah. Career. So let's see. Let's see what's here for career. I do get there is actually a change coming in your career. I feel like you already know what you want. In a lot of ways, staying the course is like good. I feel like you're developing what you need to move ahead, or you will soon. So let's see. But you might need a change in the future is something that's coming up as well. So what would help you in career? Honestly, like the first thing they're saying is like just know you're taken care of by the divine. That's the first thing they're saying about it. You will have all you need and then some. And a lot of that's really taken care of. I think a lot of it's just like you need to show up. Just show up. Then the results you need will be there, if that makes sense. But I feel like also like the other message I'm getting is like trust that you can do more than you realize. You're definitely not stuck where you're at. And you definitely have the capability also like to start learn something new and start a new career in a year if you wanted to, depending on what you wanted to do. But that's something else I wanted to leave you with information wise. But I feel like in general you're on the right course. It's just like trust and believe you're taken care of. All will be well on that front for sure. And I feel like any changes upcoming are good ones. So if there's any leaps you are like looking to take or planning on taking in career, I would do that. It's worth it. So keep that in mind. Hope that makes sense, all that jazz. Hope that helps. Don't know why like one of those Star Wars themes is coming through, but I forget which one it is. I think it's the Princess Leia one. Maybe I'll hum it in one of these. Excuse me. Thank you for the rose, Lori. Appreciate it. Tiny Heathen 95 asked, "Is my manifestation to be with my crush coming in?" So, the exact words they gave me, because my body pendulum's going to yes, but to specify, the exact words they gave me are like a manifestation to be with a crush is coming in. So yes, but keep an open mind. Does that make sense? You will have what you're seeking as far as the energies of what you want, if that makes sense, where you're with someone you have a crush on. That's coming. Yes, I hope that answers that and makes sense to you. Okay. I'm trying to find a few older questions here because I know there's a lot that came through the Q&A. Huge Bedonkers. Any love for me soon? Seeing a lot of signs lately. I actually do get, like, because I flipped open to this card. There's all these flowers and butterflies, and the words I got were "it's gonna blossom." So that is coming for you. That is in the cards. I feel like there's a few like kinks being worked out by the universe, and by kinks, I like a kink in a hose, to clarify. Um, that is coming. Definitely keep your head up. I guess like one thing. What's the best advice for you? I guess like I'd keep playing it cool, or make sure you're playing it cool. I think keep making that wish because it's definitely in the cards for you. You will have love. Definitely not going to be alone forever. So and making a wish, we have and we pulled this card here with the the dandelions and the Mega Wish card, if that makes sense. Jeez. So I would keep at it. Keep doing any self work because it's working. Is also what they're saying. I do feel like love will find you. So keep your head on a swivel for that. Next point here. Deja. Oh, this is Deja asking for Feeling Black and White. First of all, hi, Feeling Black and White. How are you doing? Messages for you, career and love. So this card popped out, and this like a violet flame card. Archangel Zadkiel. It is time for transmutation. Carry the violet flame. And the visual in the message they were giving me is like, it's like you're transmuting the whole world. But what does that actually mean? I feel like it's more you're transmuting your whole world, if that makes sense. Feeling black and white. I do feel like it's time for new. So if it's for love, probably a new person coming in if you're single. That is in the cards. Again, be patient. I feel like you'll have options in the months ahead, but just let that play out how it will, and trust your gut on like who's right for you. As far as career, I think you might need something new as well. And again, like we just said about transmuting the whole world, and we have this world card here. I think you're realizing what's no longer serving you, and I think like you're wanting different things or will soon. And that's part of what this new journey is about for you. There's a cardinal that just kind of dive bombed my car here, if that's a sign for you. Feeling black and white. Anyone else watching? I don't see them all the time here, but let's see. I feel like career, like a change would be good up ahead. I feel like we have this. To me, this is definitely like you're gonna get an offer card because he's offering this flower, and this is you will get an offer in both of those areas, love and career. It might take some time to build to it in career if that resonates. If you're kind of working towards something. I feel like the love is like the visual they're giving me is like it's gonna fall out of the sky. It's almost just like out of the blue. It's just like random stranger or something like that. Just kind of like either asking you out. So so if you get any unexpected love offers or people hitting you up or asking you out on a date, I would take a second and sit with it, but I would also probably accept it as something I'm hearing. If it seems like a good person, that's what I'm getting. And you are psychic, so trust yourself. They're pointing my eyes to the word psychic, so that's what I get for you. Hope that makes sense, Deja. Feeling black and white. I hope that helps and resonates. The chat is moving quickly. What's going on in the chat? Southpaw. How do you receive messages for others? Do I have any? So as far as I feel like I'll answer both ways that I'm reading this question. So as far as how I receive messages for others, they literally I just hear the messages, I just hear the words, and I just say them, or they just happen through me. That's pretty much how I get messages for others. Like if I look at the card, I'll look at the card and they'll have a message. I'll look at the card and they'll say a message. I'll look at the card and they'll say a message, or they'll give me a visual, or an intuitive visual. They play a little movie, if that makes sense, um, or they'll show me images and give me words along with that, or they'll show me words as images. Like sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, what do I do today? And then I have this little Archangel Uriel statue over in my room, and I'll see a little like speech bubble pop up in my, like overlaid on my, I don't know how to explain it. There's a little speech bubble that pops up with like the words of what I should do today. I'm like, oh, thanks, Archangel Uriel. So like that, there's a lot of different ways I receive messages. As far as how do you receive messages for others, just ask for that honestly and set that intention you want to start doing that. And the universe will start kind of cultivating the events necessary to bring that into fruition so you can start bringing in messages for others, if that makes sense. But it's very similar to receiving messages for yourself, if that makes sense. It's the same thing, just for another, I don't know how to explain it. But any messages for you, Southpaw, excuse me. I feel like it's time to build foundations. If you want to see certain things in your life, I do feel like it's time to kind of get your hands dirty and kind of get to work with it. They're talking about a cleanup, but honestly, the message I'm getting for you is like, it's like, they're showing me a visual, for instance, of mopping a floor, and they're talking about cleanup. Or it was like you mopping a floor, if that makes sense, or an image, a visual representing you mopping the floor. Yes, along with the visuals and the messages I get, there's also a knowing and an energetic knowing that goes along with them. So I know what they mean when I see them, if that makes sense. They typically download the knowing of what that means, so I have an inherent knowing of the message that's for you, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of multifaceted elements to the messages I'm getting, if that makes sense. But I think that the cleanup is actually like, it's inside of you, so it's like an internal cleaning, where it's just kind of like releasing energies that aren't yours, or releasing, and that's not to scare you, don't worry about that, but it's just like kind of releasing what no longer serves you, just kind of cleaning up your mindset and things of that element. And you're not bad, that's not the message there at all. It's more just like, that's kind of what's going on. It's just kind of like, I feel like the universe is preparing you for where you need to go next. And that can mean there's a bit of a cleanup process inside of you where things are either rearranging energetically, or you're just kind of upgrading and preparing in one way, shape, or form or another for the future. And that happens more than people realize, I want to say. Yeah, if that makes sense. And you know what? I'm also getting graduating for you, where you're kind of hitting a next level. Flying high is this is a very, like, I usually get fly high with this card because of this eagle here, or this hawk here soaring up. Do you feel like it's time to fly and kind of upgrade energetically and be on a higher level of frequency, just in your day to day? And that's kind of what the universe is boosting you into. And it's almost like the image I get is like you're laying on the ground, and then the universe just kind of like whoop, like it's almost like there's a springboard that launches you up, so you're standing up and just more like elevated, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it, but I do feel like you're coming into a new you as well, Southpaw. So I hope that resonates for you as a message. In this card here, Seraphiel, tune into the divine will, open to higher illumination. I do get inner illumination with this card when I pull it. So that's what I am hearing for you. Okay, yeah. I feel like that's kind of it. I hope that helps. It makes sense, Southpaw. Yes. Southpaw says yes. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Prince Priestess asks, was my last relationship as divine as it felt? I get yes and no, interestingly enough. I do feel like it was growing both of you, and elevating both of you. So there were definitely divine pieces and parts of it. But there were also a lot of parts of it where you were both being worked on, if that makes sense. I feel like the next one will be even more divine, Prince Priestess. That's what I get for you, so I hope that helps. It makes sense. Gonna drink some coffee. Okay, sorry, just going through the... Okay, never mind. Um, Ali Bowman embodied asked, a general reading would be lovely. Thank you. Okay, cool. So I flipped open to Archangel Metatron, and the song they started playing immediately was "Here Comes the Sun." So that's a really good thing. I do feel like I do hear upgrade, but I feel like it's like external upgrades. There's upgrades in life. So like I think you're stepping into a new you. You're stepping into upgrades and potentially fresh starts. I would definitely make the most of them. I think now's a great time to build what you want to build, and create what you want to see in the world. Honestly, that is what I'm getting for you. Um, and another message I'm getting is that they're pointing to my eyes to the wings on Archangel Metatron. This card here, and what I get is like you have wings, use them. So what does that mean? I feel like you have this potent ability to elevate, Ellie Bowman embodied, um, and maybe you don't even fully recognize it. But I do feel like others around you see it. You have this ability to elevate, to kind of go higher, to upgrade. Maybe glow up is a word that makes sense, um, and just to do really cool things. So keep using that if that makes sense. Keep setting your intentions. What else is coming in? I do get that this is Archangel Gabriel. Shimmer the diamond light, express your creativity. But I also get with this card that you are purifying right now. I do feel like that's internal. I think this might be a bit collective because I feel like I've brought this through for a few people now. Um, you are upshifting and also preparing to like really step into more upgrades. I feel, so that's coming, and they're showing these flowers, and the message I'm getting with these flowers is like a lot of offers. Um, you might get a lot of offers from different people in unexpected ways. So what does that mean? Um, yeah, just keep an eye out for any opportunities or offers that you want to accept. And I just flipped open to this card, which what was I just saying with that one? It's about offers. So I hope that helps Ellie Bowman embodied. Hope that's what else? What else would be best for you? Um, I just really get it's time to build. That's honestly like what the main I feel like one of the main messages I'm getting for you is it's time to build. Like if that's career, if that's a business, just build build something, build a playhouse. I don't care. I'm just kidding. um, how do you get a private reading? So I do offer personal readings through the link in my bio and my TikTok bio. If you go to the link tree, it's the first link is my website, and there's a little scheduler, and with different like time slot options, and you can click on one of those or tap on it on your phone, and then just make sure you put your time zone in, and then you can choose a time and day, and then I will call you at the specified time. Um, if you want a personal reading. Um, Texas Chess. I don't think I've ever seen the answer. Why do you mostly go live from your car? Um, Honestly, I think it's a comfort thing. I just feel like I'm here. I'm in my car. Um, in a weird way, like I feel like in my apartment, which I also go live in there. But there's neighbors, and there's like upstairs neighbors, and there's other neighbors, and I feel like you can kind of hear through the walls a bit. So when I go like full channel mode, I feel like the energies, or hear people start walking around. I'm like, it just feels weird because it's like I don't think they totally understand what I'm doing. And that's why, if that makes sense. And sometimes I don't care, and I'll just be on the phone with someone, and I'll just be like, whatever. And sometimes I do. And so it just depends on the day and how I feel. So that's why. And like, yeah, I guess like I'm here in my car, and neighbors could walk outside and see me channeling, and my eyes are closed. And for some reason, it doesn't bother me as much. I don't know why. But that's why. And I know, but at some point I'd love to get an office, or just my next place I rent, I'd love for it to be a house that's a bit more, I have a bit more space, or just a room dedicated to this work and to like recording, to going live. And then I just don't really have to worry about feeling the energies of people overhearing. Does that make sense? Because it's not really that I care. It's just like the energy I feel of either like, what's that guy doing? Or it's like, maybe it's judgment, or maybe it's like, oh, that sounds weird. Like, I don't know. Does that make sense? It's more the energies I'm feeling, than it is like I give a crap. I don't know how to describe that. Um, Deja, was the black butterfly I saw a sign meaning? I get yes. Okay, I'm gonna say this really quickly so you don't freak out. So the word I got was death, but then they really quickly said it's a good death. So I feel like it's like I feel like anything you've been wanting to not literally kill, but put to death figuratively is finally going, if that makes sense. I feel like you're a new person, Deja, or you will be soon. I think by the way, you're super psychic. I don't know if you know that or if you've seen that come into play yet, but it will if you want that. I would also pay attention to bats as a sign. Normally this means release fears, but they're saying to pay attention to bat when I see it. But oh my gosh, now that I read this card, hone your psychic abilities. Usually when I pull this card, it's that my guys are like, hey, that's about releasing fears, bats, and there's a whole story behind that. But hone your psychic abilities, see through illusions. So there you go. But whatever else I said with that as well. And Deja, I also get you're not broken. Sorry, I'm just going into a general reading, I guess. But you're not broken. If you feel like something laid you out a little bit figuratively, I would pick yourself up. I think you're doing better than you think. I don't know if it always helps to hear that, but that's what I get. So yes, it's a sign. And any other meanings you like felt from it when you saw it, I would trust that too. Signs can be multifaceted, and the universe will bring you into the highest and best understanding of that in the future. Sorry, having a moment talking to my guides here. MSA Swan, what are my angels trying to tell you? I do hear it's time to go within. Another message coming through, they're pointing my eyes to these samurai swords, and the message I get is be discerning. So I would actually go within like right now. Like this is definitely a good time to go within to get clear on like what you need and what's kind of too late. Deja, am I too late? What am I? Was that? Oh, Deja, I wouldn't worry about that. That's not what that was about. I don't think. Sorry, I saw that. I wanted to clarify that. I feel like you're good there. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Water. Thanks, Ruda. Oh, I love how you got my attention with the smileys on that one. MSA's one. What I get is go within. It's time to figure out what's true for you. I am also getting a message of like I closed my eyes and they kind of like when I blinked there and they kind of showed me a clock and I am kind of hearing time as a ticking. I would set yourself free from any like self restriction. It's kind of like Eight of Swords energy. I feel like there might be a lot of illusions that you're trapped, but you're not. If that makes sense, I think life is going to pan out shortly where you either have a bit more freedom or you feel a bit more free to do your own thing, if that makes any sense. And if it helps you, I would light incense. I feel like incense can be a beautiful way to set intentions if you're working with the herbs that the incense is about. For instance, there's like if you look up at like the meanings of the incense, like dragon's blood, like you can light that with the intentions of that. Or there's one, oh my gosh, I wish I could remember the incense brand. It's like Essential Essences or something, and there's like a sun on it, and it's like white. If you flip on the back, there's like little like there's meanings. I think they brand it as like magic meanings of the incense. But if you're setting those intentions, you're like, yes, that is what I want. I'm setting that intention with this incense. It could be another way to like if you're meditating or if you're trying to draw something in. Just setting that intention to bring that energy in. And even if you're going with like the Satya brand, like there's love and then there's blessings and then there's like gifts and there's all these little like Satyas that have like a specific meaning. That's a great way to set intentions. In addition, like I don't know, for some reason that's coming forward as a message for you, something to try. I do feel like you have a lot of inner truth coming about, or like things that you're your body's been whispering to you that you're going to start hearing, or just things your soul is trying to guide you to that you're going to start realizing. And that can show up in a multitude of ways. How is it going to show up for you? I feel like it's going to be light bulb moments, just like realizations. That's honestly what I'm feeling. So that's what I get for you, Miss Ace. Also, stand in your power. Archangel Michael is standing up here. I do feel like you're meant to be a powerful person. And that can mean something different than people think it means. I don't mean it's never really power over others. It's not true power, if that makes sense. It's more just like owning things, owning you, like owning it, if that makes sense. Owning who you are. And not letting people push you around, especially as far as your like internal fiber and like world are concerned, if that makes sense. And strengthening your inner world would be good, if that makes sense. But yeah, again, like setting intentions with incense, but also making wishes too. We have the Make-A-Wish card here. I like to call it the Make-A-Wish card. But and also they're pointing my eyes to the dolphins, and that can mean play. What does it mean? It's pretty much have fun is the message, is what I'm hearing. So I hope that makes sense. So play, have fun, light incense. Hope that all makes sense and helps you there. I do feel like things will be better than you think, if that makes sense. I'm gonna drink water. I need 1 second. I just need 1 second, guys. Okay. I need my coffee. Oh, you're welcome, Miss Ace. MS Ace1. However that is said. Many VDM73. Brandon's book is great. Thank you. Oh, and I said, getting tipsy nails. Anything for me today? Thank you. Ordered your book. Awesome. I hope you get. I hope the highest and best comes about from it. Is what I'm trying to say. That's awesome. I hope you enjoy it. But and thanks Mini VDM for that about my book. Thank you. I appreciate that. Getting tipsy nails really quickly. I feel like you're about to step into a whole new world. I know that message in different variances has come through for a lot of people, and I feel like that is kind of in the collective. It's just like fresh starts, new beginnings, new eras, and that can look a little bit different for each. Like sometimes that's internal, sometimes that's external, sometimes it's both. Sometimes you just wake up and you look in the mirror and you're like, who am I? And so, but as far as for you getting tipsy nails, I think it's just like you're coming into a whole new era of like you and who you are. And like the words I get are self-discernment. What does that even mean? I feel like it's discerning for you. And this has also come through as a theme. So I'm sorry if I'm just repeating myself, but it seems like it's an important message for a lot of you today, is getting clear on what's true for you. I do see a lot of grace on the horizon for you. We have this. Oh, we have 2 cards, so we'll take it out. That makes sense, actually. I know what that card is. They pointed my eyes to this dove here, and it was like grace on the horizon. I would also pay attention to waterfalls as a sign. I think like you're going to be coming into a new flow internally where things just start to click and make sense, and you're just feeling less lost, if that makes sense. And it makes sense because you said you ordered the book. Archangel Christine is, they just, for this one, it's like they have the crystal ball, excuse me. And I feel like your psychic gifts are on the rise, and that book can be a bit of, I don't want to take, never mind. But all that being said is like you do have gifts, and I would recommend using them and cultivating them because it's something I feel like you're supposed to do here, if that makes sense. So let's see what else is. I feel like you're just gonna rise up, if that makes sense. And they're pointing to this like sunrise in the back when I say that. It's just like it's time to rise up. It's time to It's time to hit a new level, is what I'm getting. So that's kind of what I'm getting for you. I hope that makes sense, getting tipsy nails. They also want to say you're great. You do have a lot to offer. You are divinely protected. Guardian angel popping out here. And just don't be afraid of anyone, whether it's people who are naysayers, um, or people who talk bad about you. I kind of get the message, like, if there is anyone doing that, like, they know not what they do. I mean, I do feel like you deserve better. I feel like you deserve good people and people who care about you and cherish you, and love you, and maybe you haven't had that as much as you wanted, and maybe there's a lot of people who haven't had that as much as they've wanted. But I actually feel like that's coming. I think, like, as you kind of step into this new era, you start to magnetize and attract people who appreciate you more and recognize your worth and value more. Um, that's a lot of what I'm getting. So hopefully that helps and resonates and makes sense. But that's a lot of what I'm getting. Um, uh, Deja, if this is someone you're interested in romantically, I feel like he likes you. So I don't want my boldness to scare him, so I hold it back a lot. Honestly, the message I get really quickly is just be there. I don't even feel like you have to do a whole lot. I think, like, your presence means a lot, and just like holding space in that way, um, and being reassuring, whether it's just like a reassuring like touch or like on the shoulder, or whatever. Jeez. I don't feel like you will scare him, if that makes sense. Um, I feel like step into who you are and let him see who you are, and he'll like that. But don't overthink that process, if that makes sense. Anyways, thanks, Chrissy. Amy Lay 1976 asked, "Hi, is this relationship going to progress? Thanks." I do get yes, but with the added information, it's like sort of, and it's going to be interesting, but I feel like it's actually going to work, if that makes sense. We have the "Here Comes the Sun, Welcome New Beginnings." Let the sun shine in your life. I would let it play out and try not to control the situation. Um, I do see it progressing, but be patient. Try not to manipulate. I'm not saying that you do. I'm just saying, if if you catch yourself and you're like, oh, maybe that is a little manipulative, just don't. If that makes sense. And you're great. That's I'm not trying to say you're a manipulator or anything like that. I think that's just some of the advice they're bringing through. Hope that makes sense. You're welcome, Deja. Don't overthink it. You're a great person, and people are gonna love you for sure. That's what they're saying. Anna Banana 41. Why do I dream about the same person every night? I feel like there's a bit of a connection there. Let's see. I want to make sure I read this accurately. Yeah, I feel like there's a connection there because they said the word chord, and I was like, before I just go willy nilly saying things about chords, what's actually going on there? Like, it's not a bad chord. I just feel like it's like there's a connection that's there. If you're concerned about it, you can just say, "Archangels, here for my highest greatest good. Please do whatever would be highest and best regarding this connection and these dreams. Thank you." And I think sometimes when you have those, like, how do you want to phrase it? Sometimes you have people where you have certain like soulmate connections with, or you just have a bit of a the message they're showing me is like overlap of the souls, if that makes sense, or just a bit of closeness in the etheric. They'll pop into your dreams a lot. I've definitely had people where I've dreamt of them a lot, like, even though I hadn't talked to them in years, and I'm just like, why you? And then there's also people, like, even people I've dated who I very like randomly or seldomly or never did really dream of, if that makes sense. Um, and sometimes we have certain like energetic or soul connections that cause that to happen, and it's not bad in your case. I want to reiterate that. Just if it is a bit much at a certain point, just ask the angels to help you with that. It doesn't necessarily mean you're supposed to be with that person, by the way. It could, but I just wanted to reiterate that. I did watch a general reading at one point, and like what that reader called it, which is like an empathic connection. Um, Call it what you want to call it, but at the end of the day, it's not a bad thing. It's just I feel like sometimes I guess the message I'm getting right now is sometimes if you think about someone a lot, you can form a bit of a connection. That's all that is, and it's not bad. It's just like it is what it is. If it's too much, you can just ask like angels, please resolve that in the highest and best ways, or whatever would be for that. Is good. Hope that helps, Banana Anna Banana 41. Hope that helps you. It's not a bad thing, honestly. Um, it's just like a connection in the etheric, and again, like everyone's in a way like yes, everyone's interconnected. Everyone's everything. Everyone is connected, but sometimes you have a connection that's stronger with certain people. Um, okay, sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes I just start talking to my guides. So challenge. Am I doing enough with my healing journey? I get yes. And sure, you could ramp it up a bit more in some areas. Um, and sometimes you have to focus on your healing a bit more, and other times you're doing well. I think as long as you're showing up consistently and making headway, you're doing enough. As because you're not ignoring yourself or your needs, which is beautiful, and you're taking care of yourself, which is good. So what else? I guess like one of the messages is like don't overburden yourself with healing or like wondering if you're doing enough. You are, and I would just do your best not to avoid any areas that need healing. Um, Make sure you're covering everything you need, if that makes sense. And you're not doing that if you were worried. That's just a message that was kind of coming up for the future, if that makes sense. Um, and I feel like you will continue to do enough. Um, I guess like one of the messages is healing can be a part of life. So don't feel like you have to do it all at once, but also don't put it off. Does that make sense? I hope that helps, but you're good. Keep going. And life will assist you. You know, I feel like healing can move quickly, and life does tend to help us heal in a way. Deja, yeah, Deja, I'll be back. Hopefully, I'm scared I'm gonna fail my classes. Do what you got to do, Deja. Take care of yourself. You're no obligation. I super always appreciate your help, and your presence here is always loved and appreciated. At the same time, you take care of your classes, take care of you, do what you got to do. um, yeah. Gertrude McFuss. I feel like someone will get hurt no matter what I choose. What choice I make? What should I do? Do the one that's best for you, honestly. Yes, I would consider the other person, but if it's at the end of the day, like sometimes people's reactions aren't always your responsibility. Like, yes, if you have a knife, don't stab people. Like, if it's physical, but it's like if you need to make a choice that's right for you, and you need to break up with someone, and they're gonna get hurt, or if you're caught between two lovers or something, and you're like, oh, I need to choose. Oh no, someone's gonna get hurt. It's like, do what's best for you, and don't feel guilty if you make a choice that's best for you. Um, I would do it in a way that's considerate, and maybe if you I don't really feel like it's your fault, the situation you're in. Like, yes, we all make our choices, and yes, we all have a responsibility, and yes, for whatever reason you're there in that situation. But I would do the one that's best for you and which energetically feels lightest to you, if you're familiar with that terminology. Um, I don't feel like you're gonna hurt people as bad as you think you are with the choice you're gonna make. But sometimes other people aren't your responsibility. Does that make sense? Yes, there is a bit of a like situational like context that needs to be present when evaluating that. What I'm saying here, but like if someone, like for instance, like if someone likes you but you choose someone else, like it's not your fault. And like maybe if you just like, I don't have feelings, like I'm choosing this other person, like I know it's gonna hurt, like yeah, maybe don't lead people on and like try to cultivate that and then choose someone else, because that's like it's still their choice to kind of like read the situation and like realize what's going on, but just don't be sneaky about it. Does that make sense? um just be upfront with people and make the best choice that feels best to you and that you feel like will be best. I do feel like all will be well in general. I hope that helps, Gertrude McFuzz. I love that name. Um, I don't feel like it's as bad as you think it is, but I hope that helps. Anyways, I'm not saying that's the exact situation, by the way, the one I was purporting, but that was just to give an example. You're welcome, Gertrude. Olivia Williams, should I trust him? I get yes for the most part. Like maybe there will be some white lies, things that don't matter. But overall trustworthy is what I get, at least for a time. That's what I get. Hope that helps. Lizzie Manizel, number 3. Any guidance is sorry, I'm talking to my guys. Any guidance is appreciated. Wary and woke. I don't feel like you'll be wary forever. I think self care. I feel like you kind of need self care right now. Honestly, is what I'm getting. Um, and I do feel like giving yourself some love is a great idea. We have Archangel Camiel here. Open your heart to give and receive love. Your essence is love. Um, I do feel like realizing you are loved by the universe and connecting in with that can be a great tool to just kind of realize that, if that makes sense. Even if you're just like, universe, show me you love me. Universe, show me you love me. It could be direct, and you just download the divine love for me that there is for me, and I get to feel that, or whatever it is. Um, but what else is coming through for you? I do feel like you're on the right track. I think if you feel like this isn't going to be across the board for everyone, but for the visual they're showing me, because they showed like a train on the tracks and then it's going up a hill. So if you feel like things are a little bit of a struggle, I feel like you're elevating, and it's not always going to be a struggle to elevate. That's not the point. It's just like in this particular context, um, um, any struggles to get to the top of a hill are just elevation energies. I feel like you're kind of weeding out the things that aren't for you, even internally. So it's like beliefs, ideas, thoughts, like just things that you're watching and you're like, huh, I don't know if that's quite right for me and where I'm going. So a lot of that is just kind of like, it's almost like when you're panning for gold, like a lot of that dirt is like sifting out so you can get the gold nuggets, if that makes sense, and like the gemstones and things that are of value and matter to you. Um, this card typically, I get like study, Archangel Raziel. This card says, seek and you will find, be a wise one. But I get this is like internal study, if that makes sense. Um, like studying yourself and what makes you tick, and realizing who you are, if that makes sense. I feel like you're very, like, they're just showing like you're so close. I feel like you're very, very just so close to an internal realization that will change everything. Um, and it is gonna happen. That's it's gonna happen. I just like, I do feel like that's in the weeks ahead, but that's something they want to bring through. I think that's just gonna shift you and bring a bit more joy and satisfaction into your world that previously like was lacking. Um, and I wouldn't, so Archangel Michael here, I wouldn't play down your truths for others. Also, I think that's important. I feel like the more you're hiding yourself, the more wary you're gonna feel, if that makes sense. And hopefully you mean weary as in like tired, and not wary as in Wary. It doesn't matter. The reading's the reading. You'll get what you need. um, but I feel like you're infinite. You can do what you need to do. You're gonna be okay. Um, and I get that here comes the sun card. Welcome to beginnings. Let the sun shine in your life. That might be an endings leading to new beginnings thing, because they kind of show Archangel Azrael definitely is like, it's time to let go, prepare for change. She's definitely like a deaths and ending kind of archangel, or she, or they, or it's, I don't know. Angels are angels. They're like, we are what we want to be. They're saying right now. I'm like, okay. So they are what they want to be, archangels. Fun fact. I don't know. I feel like if that any internal realization is going to make a lot of headway. Hope that helps, Lizzle. Lizzle. Love that name. Okay. You have a great day. So many of us are going through change. Yeah, Mosey Mose, that is a thing for sure. It's definitely collective and just world over, and it's time. And I think people are ready. And I feel like after 2020 and like everything, like things are going to be very rapid. Starting this month for many of you, I feel like it's going to be very rapid, if that makes sense. Anyways, Chrissy F2231, will all my manifestations come to pass? I do get most of them, mostly, and like some of them will be unexpectedly. Here's another message. For very specific manifestations, pay attention to the energy of what you're asking for. And why do I say that? And this, I want to clarify and say this won't be true across the board. You can get what you want, if that makes sense. But like specific people, for example, if you want a specific person, maybe Craig in accounting is spoken for, but you're like, no, Craig is my person, and the dowsing, you know, like the pendulum says like he'd be perfect for me, and da 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 da. And like I get it, but you know, sometimes like we have people that seem like they're for us, but then there's an even better, more aligned match. It's even better than Craig in accounting, and I don't know. I don't have an example handy, but just the energy you think you're going to get by being with someone when you're manifesting someone that you want to be with. Like sometimes like you'll write down your list and then like I'll be like, okay, I want all these qualities, and like someone with that qualities either shows up and it's either is not the right time, or there's someone who better aligns even more and has less of the qualities you don't want that's coming in, and you're just starting to attract people who are along the lines of what you're asking for, if that makes sense. So like maybe you really want to be with Craig, but all of a sudden like Brad shows up and he's even better, and you're like, oh my gosh, like this is like exactly the energy I was trying to get by wanting to be with Craig. Does that make sense? So when it's like things that are pretty, and like if you want I don't know, if you want a PlayStation 5, you can manifest a PlayStation 5. You know, you can get that specific thing. If you want to win a particular contest, you might win the contest you're asking to ask. You might just be like, okay, universe, I didn't win that. Like, how does it get any better than that? Like, what is for me? And then all of a sudden, like next year, you win this other contest that's even like better for you to win, if that makes sense. So that's just to say, like, if there's very specific things you're manifesting, it's like, yes, it just might be unexpected or slightly different than you were hoping for at first, but it is typically always actually better than the initial manifestation if the universe forces you to wait or adjust something. Does that make sense, Chrissy? So like, yes, and some of it will be a little bit different than maybe you were initially asking for, but yes. I hope that helps. Adam13 asks, greetings, may I have a message from source? Sure. I feel like you are on the right track as well, Adam13. If you play music or that's something that's important to you, I would play music. This card's popping out. I feel like there's a lot of magic in music for you, if that makes sense. So whatever you're passionate that's creative for you, I would do that. It's definitely important that you're staying you and like owning your worth at this time, and not letting others dictate your value either through words they say or through any harsh words or anything like that. And you are worthy of love, Adam13, if that's something you're worried about or concerned about. I would open to illumination from the divine. And sometimes just setting that intention is all you need. For example, what do you want me to say? Universe, illuminate me. Another tool is like there's this book, and it's called Zebu. It's like a collection of angelic symbology. So it's these channeled like angelic symbols, I guess, that this woman brought through. And there's one for illumination. And in this book, there's this exercise where there's a symbol for illumination, and you just visualize this symbol like kind of like you I don't know, you pull down a column of white light from source and then ask for angelic energies to surround that. So you're in this column of light from source, and then you bring down this symbol of illumination with the highest and best angelic energies, and you set your intentions, of course. And then, for the highest good, you bring this symbol down through your crown chakra. It resides in your heart. You let it do whatever work it does. But then, like, the intention you're setting is that you become illuminating. Your presence becomes illuminating. Your words become illuminating. And you're guided by the angels to be illuminating for others, if that makes sense. So open to the highest and best illumination for you. I don't know who needed to hear that or if anyone did. But, and you could even just... You don't even need the symbol. You could just be like, maybe you do that same exercise, but you have the word illumination come down representing that symbol or that intention instead, and reside in your heart, and you become illuminated and illuminating, if that makes sense. What else for you? I would trust your gut. I think you know more than you let on, and more intuitive than people have told you. So there's this amethyst. Oh, thanks be divine for the roses. Archangel Amethyst, purify your life with love, prepare for something better. So the visual they show me is I looked at the card and they showed the angel with this amethyst, taking the amethyst and kind of like moving it around her crown chakra. So that's something is something I'd recommend for you, is sitting with amethyst and taking amethyst and just kind of like moving it around your crown chakra and just kind of letting the crystal do its highest and best work for you there, and open that up. I would actually open to a new beginning as well for you. Surprise, surprise. I'm guessing anyone asking for a reading, one of the messages is open to a new beginning. Sorry. But, so anyways, but this is coming, and it's like, but this does tie into the illumination as well with the sun here. But let me see what else I want to bring through. I feel like you are about to be illuminated, Adam. 1-3. So I hope that helps. Definitely work, if it resonates, to work on your crown chakra, and your own connection, because I think that's going to be important for down the road. You do have gifts too. I think you're still unpacking them. It's kind of like if you go on a trip, you have the visual they're showing me is like you have a briefcase, or like, for your travels, and you unpack it and you have like a bunch of your intuitive abilities and gifts in this suitcase, so to speak. And so like you've unpacked like half the suitcase, so like there's still more to unravel and bring forward in you that you have yet to utilize, if that makes sense, as far as giftedness. So keep doing whatever you do to bring that out, if that's something you're doing. Hope that helps. Adam 1-3. Is this a new job a good direction for me? Overall, yes. I think there might be a few like kinks or bumps, but like I feel like overall it's better than what you've had before, is what I get. There is probably better ahead. So anything down the road you don't feel like you're getting out of the new job, I would start to ask for it from the universe and just ask that you do get what you need in future jobs, and you will. But I do feel like there are upgrades ahead, is kind of the message I'm getting on the job front. But I would stay there for a bit. They're saying to stay there for a time, and I think you'll know either when to jump ship or what to do when it's time to change. Hope that helps, Mosey Mose. All right, I'm going to try and go to... Whoop. Aw, the Empress 444. Oh my god, I thought I missed you. Hi, happy Sunday. You're what I look forward to the most these mornings. Oh, that means a lot. I'm grateful to hear that. But no, I'm still here. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Ruda, I think it was Ruda. I saw you asked for a collective message, and I would love to do that because that's what my guides are saying to do. And I don't see that in the Q&A, and I know the Q&A can be a bit sporadic, guys, so not all the questions always show up, and like they won't show up one time, but then they will the next, but then they won't the next. So it's very sporadic what even shows up in this Q&A for me. So I just trust the universe brings me the right questions at the right time. And then I'm answering their questions at the right time. From Gaia. Um, is that from Gaia, like the Earth, Ruda? Just to double check, just to make sure we're on the same page. RL Rice 2, are you exhausted after these lives or exhilarated? Sometimes a bit of both, but it really depends on the live and how it went. They've been really good lately. Yes, from Gaia. Okay, so yeah, let's see what Gaia wants to say for the collective. Oh, this would be interesting. I'm gonna channel Gaia, and after these people leave, who are looking at me weirdly as I talk to my phone. So yeah. So the first things I'm hearing are, I'm gonna channel Gaia directly. This will be interesting. I've never done that before, but let's see what Hashimoto the Earth wants to say. I'm gonna wait for these people to leave because they're just kind of staring at me. So anyways, I'll channel Gaia in a second for a collective message. Let's see. You know what? Maybe it'll just turn into full channel mode. Who cares if people are staring? Comfort push. But really I hear like, the Earth, the first thing I'm hearing from the Earth is like, beloved humans, like you are so beloved. The Earth loves each and every one of you, and it's very aware of your presence. And the Earth is on track to be healed, and in a lot of ways, the Earth was never really injured. Nature has a lot of things taken care of, and none of you are really separate from nature, even though you might think that you are separate from nature, even with your buildings and your structures and your libraries. Even if you are looking at animals in a book, you are never separate from nature. It is simply that humanity took it into its own hands to create a different life for itself, and there is nothing wrong with this. I am overflowing with abundance for each of you. You can pull any resources from me so long as you are giving back, so long as it is in tune with the accurate barometer of giving and receiving. For each of you is a part of me, of Gaia. Each of you is a part of the Earth. There is no real separation, for your bodies came from the elements that came from the Earth. The food you eat has nutrients from the Earth, which is taken to the mother's womb for each of you as a child, which creates the atoms, which creates the cells that you are made up of. So you are all one with me. You are all of the Earth. And at the same time, you have souls, which are of source, of the cosmos. And source is all of it, is the Earth, is nature. So you are not separate from anything in the physical world, in the etheric world. You are all of it, and you are all of it. There's nothing wrong with using the Earth's resources to make a better life for yourself. Just remember that there is a balance to nature, and you must give back that which you take. You must in some way present an offering that honors what you have taken. So if you are guided to bring a crystal to the woods, if you are guided to do something that gifts to the rivers, if you are guided to take care of animals, please do, for you are all one. Animals, plants, humanity. There is no separation. All there is life, and the life force that flows through each and all of you. So please take a second to look around you, to look at other humans, to look at other beings, and know you are all of the same stuff: the stars, the earth, source. And realize that there is only oneness, that the separation is an illusion. And that is one thing that I, the Earth, am trying to help you guys to dispel, is the illusion of separation. So as I upgrade and upshift in frequency, so too do you. And as you upgrade in frequency and upshift, so too do I. There is no separation. So be sure that you are loving to each other, loving to nature, giving thanks for all that is around you, for it is all provided with unconditional love. There is no hatred to any of you from the earth, and none of you are parasites. There is no parasitic nature of humanity. There is only oneness in how you choose to use the resources that are provided. just make sure you are giving back. That's the message. So that was interesting. I have never channeled the Earth like that before, but or Gaia. Does that make sense? Hope that helps. Thank you, Brandon. That is so beautiful. Water, please. You're welcome. Thanks for that recommendation. That was really, really cool. You're welcome. Look up there that you are. So lovely. She's so lovely. She is I love the Earth. I love Gaia. You know, there's a great exercise. Thank you. Hi, hello, Lena. Should I pursue writing a writing career? I would, but make sure you're supplementing it with other things as well. I feel like you're meant to do more than one thing. That's what I got as a quick answer. You guys are welcome. Awesome. Junger, an old friend returned. Is this faded? Faded like romance. If it's about love, I feel like there's better for you, Eugen Gertz. It's definitely good to like. I would definitely keep your friend around if that makes sense. Definitely faded to at least reconnect if that makes sense. I feel like it would be an okay love, but there's better for you if that makes sense. If something doesn't work out, it's because you're a protected guardian angel card popping out here. Hope that helps. It makes sense. But I would let it play out. Don't try to force it one way or another. And it's definitely worth giving it a shot. Is also something I'm getting. If you really like this person, that's what I'm getting. But let it play out. The universe will show you what's for you. Is the message I'm getting. Hope that helps. It makes sense. One thing I wanted to say, because we were just talking about Gaia and Source, is like a good exercise or meditation is like if you just take a few minutes and I actually feel like I learned this from a lady like years, like 2017, years back. I feel like it kind of originated with potentially Drunvalo Melchizedek, but and it's supposed to be for activating your Merkaba. But even just doing this exercise, I feel is amazing, where you sit and you kind of tune in with the Earth, and you send your love to the Earth, your love for the Earth, with the intention that Gaia feels your love, and then you'll feel Gaia's love back to you, and it's always very pure. It's unconditional love. And then you'll do the same thing while you're holding that love and feeling that love. You do the same thing. You send your love to Source with the intention Source feels your love, and then Source will send its love to you, and you'll feel the love of Source for you. And then you have this connection of love going in both ways. And this was my favorite meditation for the longest time, just because of just how loving the Earth and Source and the universe are, and you just feel the love, and definitely recommended. If that makes sense. Anyways, in case anyone wants to hear that. Shannon R. Fulcher. Any messages from Source for me? Patience is a theme right now. Be patient at this time is the first thing I'm hearing. I do feel like there's hope. There is better ahead. If you need to hear the worst is behind you, that's something I'm also hearing, is like the worst is behind you. And here's also what Seraphim Seraphisa, relax and open up to Source, keep your heart open. There's this woman, and it looks like she's in like a limelight, and then there's this flower, and it almost looks like a microphone to me. But the message I get with this card when I looked at it is speak up, and make sure you're speaking up and speaking your truth. You do have good things to say, and I wouldn't doubt that. And going back to that hope on the horizon thing, here's Archangel Hope. I do feel like you will have gifts from the universe coming in, so look for a cosmic gift. Remember, you deserve it. That's something to keep in mind. And just keep in mind, you aren't the same person as you were like in the past. The exact words they said are, you aren't the same person you were yesterday. So keep like upgrading and keeping up with yourself and like the new you and like what the new you wants to do. I guess as an example, like years, because human age, 28 years old here, gonna turn 29 this year, But years ago, like a decade, I used to watch, I don't know, I used to play video games and watch anime and all that stuff, all that good nerdy fun stuff. Um, but like sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll be like, oh, anime would be fun. But then like I sit with it, I'm like, I don't actually like anime anymore. Like I don't really enjoy video games as much as I used to. Like sure, there's a nostalgia factor, or it's like it's nice to just zone out sometimes and watch something. But I'm like when I actually sit with it, like I don't, it doesn't really resonate with me. Like that's not really my jam anymore. And so I think like you can grow and evolve and change. And sometimes like the things you wanted 5 years ago aren't the same things that you want now. And like what I want in a partner today is different than what I wanted 2 years ago, if that makes sense. So I don't know. That's something they want to say as well. Um, but again, like stand in your power, stand in your truth. I think owning your truth and like speaking up is a very important thing. I do feel like Archangel Michael is also there helping you with discernment to just kind of like discern what's for you and what to move along from. Because I feel like you're going to change even more. I think this is just the beginning, as the words they're giving me, whatever's been happening. Um, I feel like you're waking up to your purity. Is another message I'm getting. This is Archangel Gabriel. Shimmer with Diamond Light. Express your creativity. You're awakening to your purity and realizing you have a good heart and that your soul is here to do good things. So pay attention to things that align with you and accept any offers and move in that direction, if that makes sense. I hope that helps, Shannon R. Fulcher. You are on the right track. Anything else? And you do have the ability, if this resonates, you do have the ability to channel, is what they're saying. So if you ever want to cultivate that gift, that's something you can do. I do feel like you're very intuitive as well. Oh, that helps. All right, next question. Okay, it's just been kicked out, homeless at the moment. Will I be okay? Well, I'm sorry to hear that. And Archangel Azrael, it's time to let go, prepare for change, which makes sense because that was a bit of a death of an old situation there. You will be okay is the first message. Definitely it's a good time to pray to the universe and be like, hey, guide me, protect me through this, get me what I need. Hopefully you have an income. If you don't, I would do everything you can to get an income and just take care of the base necessities. I think the resources you need are coming, but hang in there. Hang in there for the next month while you figure it out, if that makes sense. Like you won't die, is what I'm getting. You won't die. So, what's the? I feel like once you start getting those basic necessities taken care of, it's definitely time to start building the life you want to see for yourself. And I know this is a bit of a rough era for you, so I definitely apologize for that. But you will evolve from this. You're going to be very strong, and if you have kids, you probably won't put them through the same situation. But I do feel like you'll be taken care of. Just keep showing up, keep setting your prayers and intentions, and in the long term, what do you want to say? It's definitely a growth opportunity, if nothing else. But I hope that helps, Buckets. See if you wish I pursue acting. I am 19. I get yes, but also pursue other things you want to pursue as well, if that makes sense. I feel like there's multiple things for you. So like, yep, choose one and go, but keep in mind like there's other things you're gonna feel called to down the road as well. Hope that helps. All right, next to the Q&A. Oh, we answered that one. Chihuahua 607. Anything for me, love? Am I on the right path? I get yes overall. I feel like if you don't have love right now, I do feel like love is on the way, or an increased amount of love in your life. And the words I'm hearing are you will have love. And you do have abundance coming in. I feel like if there's any tweaks you need to make, I feel like that's internal. Like adjusting your mindset, just make sure your thoughts are on a good track and are supporting you and not inherently, no one's really limited. Everyone's unlimited. Um, just make sure your thoughts are moving in the right direction, if that makes sense. Anything else for you? They do want to say you're a good person if you need to hear that. Sometimes no one tells us, so they wanted to mention that as well. I do feel like you are like a ray. They're pointing my eye to these rays. You are a ray of light in the lives of others, is what they said, or you can be. And I think the more you're owning that and stepping into that, the better. Of course, taking care of yourself and making sure you have what you need as well. Um, but they're okay. They're pointing my eyes. There's this wire. There's these wires bundled up, hanging from this house, and then maybe it's cable or whatever. But the way they have it bundled up is it's in this like figure eight or infinity sign, and the words they gave me as I looked at this, they pointed my eyes to this bundle of cords in the shape of an infinity sign, was infinite abundance. So what does that mean? The message I get for you is you are infinitely abundant, or can be. Um, Sometimes what it takes is like you just look around and manifest, like realize you can manifest what you want and what you need, and everything's taken care of. um I feel like any perceived lack is an illusion. That's what I want to say to you for some reason, which is interesting. It's like, yeah, well, okay, where's that $200 for that purse I want? Or you might be like, okay, where's that I'm struggling to pay rent today. Honestly, for you, the message I get is like, relax, like it is taken care of. You are being blessed with like divine abundance, and you'll have all you need. I hope that makes sense, Chihuahua. Hope that resonates and makes sense. um Park Lady Katie, any messages from source, please? What do you the first, like I flipped open to Archangel Zadkiel, definitely a violet flame. It's time for transmutation. Carry the violet flame. The message I get with this is transmute the old. If you feel like any like old thought processes or patterns or old paradigms are rising up, it's just to be let go of. You definitely don't need to live in your thoughts, if that makes sense. Thoughts can be a beautiful thing and experience, and they're here to be worked with and to show us things, I feel like. Um, and not all of them are yours. You can pick up on thoughts that are from others, and there's a tool like, who does this belong to? Is this mine or someone else's? And if it lightens up and like leaves, then it's someone else's, if that makes sense. All that to say is, just make sure you're not living there, because make sure you're taking time to like experience your body, to kind of ground in your body, to move and do like, yoga or qigong might be a good thing for you, just because it kind of gets you in the present, moving your body, feeling the energies, and not so wrapped up in your brain, if that makes sense. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just there's also more to life and to this experience, is something they're saying. I do feel like you are evolving. They're pointing, the butterflies and the dragonflies are definitely symbols of evolution, and that's what they said when I picked up this card. And you do have, they're pointing my eyes to this tiny little spider on this angel wing here. You do have the ability to feel everything around you, like an empath. But for some reason they're showing me an image like an empath warrior, which is interesting. What does that mean? And trust that you can hone that in and learn to discern with more ease and grace as well as you go about your journey. I do feel like you're a very sensitive person, and that's not a bad thing. It is a strength. Just learn to work with it and not against it. What else is for you? Okay, but yeah, going back to the you're evolving thing. I would let yourself evolve, and if you're changing, it's okay not to resist that, and to let yourself like different things, try new things, let new experiences happen. Because life isn't meant to be the same over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like, it's not going to be the same as when you were 10, and it's not going to be the same as 5 years ago, and that's a good thing. And even if you're experiencing much the same thing a year later, it's you a year later experiencing the same thing, so it's going to be a different experience overall, if that makes sense. So nothing really stays the same, so flow with the change. If that makes sense. That's what I got for you. That was for Park Lady Katie. I hope, and if that resonated for any of you, perfect. Any others of you? Any other? Let's see. Who's next? Ibis asked, Can you show me? Oh, thanks for the roses, Texas Jess. I think saw you send roses there. Thank you. Can you show me my angel for today? I read too. Honestly, the one that comes to me is Archangel Metatron's the first one that shows up for me. I do feel like you have Archangels Raphael and Uriel around you as well. And again, never let that limit you and who's around you or who's working with you, because of course, like any archangels or angels you called upon are there with you as well. As far as like, I actually, let's Archangel Zadkiel flipped out here in the cards as well. And of course you have your guardian angels too. That's what I'm getting. So hopefully that helps. Ibis. Anyways, next question. Mana Nicole 8787. What is my purpose? The first two words I hear are to uplift and to inspire. And before I go any deeper, I want to add a caveat here. It's like, don't ever limit yourself to just what I say is your purpose or what anyone else says is your purpose. Because there's often, I feel like it's pointing in the right direction and it's giving you some details that are helpful for you to know right now. At the same time, your purpose can expand and grow. And yes, there's things and missions your soul came in to have and to do this lifetime and experiences you came to have. I might go full channel mode here. Welcome. So in addition to what we were saying through Brandon earlier, though it was more of him relaying the messages from us as he heard us speaking to him, what we want to say is that your purpose is to grow and expand, to lay foundations for the new earth, to help with the shift of consciousness that is transpiring over the course of, well, now, but over the course of generations. You are here to heal the old and to create a new that is higher and better for the generations to come. You came here to build bridges to the new, to source, to allow greater levels of light to cascade down to the earth and to be held by the beings incarnate here. So you are here for more than just one word, one phrase, working a job in a warehouse. That is never your purpose, so to speak, though there is purpose to you being there frequently as governed by the divine. Sometimes you need to meet people there or have an impact through your presence or the words that you say to another. Nothing is for naught and nothing is discounted by the divine as an opportunity both for growth, for expansion, for upgrades, for evolution, or for what needs to transpire for a soul or an incarnate being to elevate the levels of consciousness and light that are held on planet Earth. But what we also want to say is that you do come in with certain themes. It is very thematic. For instance, one of you may come in with a theme of evolution. Another may come in with a theme of peace, coming into peace and bringing peace. And some of you are here to bring clarity, expansion, ease, and growth. So there are certain themes that are for each of you that you come in to bring along with anything you do, no matter if it is an interaction, if it is a job, or any other sort of thing. Well, for you, Amanda Nicole 8787 username, what we would say is some of your themes are hope. You are here to be a hope and an inspiration and a light to others in that way. And we do not mean hope as in just throwing the word hope around, but what we mean is that you bring genuine hope for humanity to those you inspire and guide in this lifetime, whether it is just giving life advice or being a loving, warm presence for someone. There are many different ways this theme can transpire in your life, and trust that moment to moment you are having the impact you came here to have, especially if you are working to be intentional with this, if you are working to uncover what's true for you, to uncover your purpose. Trust that you've already had the impact that you are meant to have with your purpose, because a lot of it is who you are and the energies you bring and what happens naturally when people are around you through what you do, through what you say, and through what you are. So the more you grow and expand and evolve, the more you help people to shift into who they really are, the more you inspire others to take action and to make the changes they want to see both for themselves and the world. The more you are living out these themes that you came here to live out, and trust that you already are, do not overthink this, the more you are living out your purpose. And yes, there are certain physical endeavors that may make more sense as to what you are here to do. For instance, for you, anything to do with working with your hands would be beautiful, whether that is a healing work or whether that is constructing a puzzle or building something or even programming something on a computer with your hands as you type. Working with your hands is something physically that allows you to carry out your purpose. It allows the energy that you are meant to bring to flow through you out your hands into the creations you bring to this planet. And the more you elevate, the more you are bringing higher vibrational energies through what you do, the more you are shifting lives just through your presence alone. That is something we want to say. So hopefully this makes sense to you. We know we made this a bit of a collective message in addition to some of the themes for you specifically while we were answering this. So we want to delve a bit back into what is for you specifically as far as your purpose. The more you are uplifting yourself and others and helping people get up and out of ruts, you are kind of a caretaker in that way, and there's a bit of a caretaker role for you where you are caretakering, taking care of yourself and others, if that makes sense. And that can be an uplifting and inspirational thing when you are caretaking for someone who cannot take care of themselves. So a caretaker role is something that is what you are here to do. Just be careful not to overdo it and not caretake for yourself in the meantime. So the more you are uplifting and inspiring and taking care of others, bringing hope and joy as well. Through the upliftment you provide others, you expand the frequencies of joy. And while joy is not the specific theme, it is a byproduct of what you are here to do. By having that loving caretaker role, you bring so many higher frequencies through what you do, the love, the joy, that you do not realize are a part of your mission. And the more you are expanding, the more you are helping others to heal, the better as well. That is what we will leave you with. And trust that the energetic encodements of your purpose are also flowing to you as we channel for you. So there's more than just the words, but the energetic understanding and comprehension of what you are here to do and be. And that will percolate in the months to come following this message. We hope this finds you well. That is what we will leave you with for now. All right. Hope that makes sense. I hope that made sense. And I know like that didn't delve into like a ton of the super specifics. But hopefully that made sense to you about your purpose and purpose. Let's see. Anything else want to come through for you? Anything else? To uplift and to inspire, caretaker, expansion, building, helping with the shifts. Just being yourself goes a long way as well, so what I'm hearing. If you want to do readings, like be a tarot reader, that might also incorporate some of your gifts you came in with as well. I don't know. That's something that's coming through, but there's no wrong choice. Thanks for the love, Lori. Christina Connolly too. Hello, should I completely cut all communication off with E, please? Thank you. I would limit it, but maybe not, end it completely. Just take a step back. Okay, next question. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm going through the Q&A. There's a lot to scroll through here. I'll try and get to some of the older ones. What am I supposed to answer? XC7 asked, should I continue my path to becoming a surgeon? I do get yes, but it's like a yes, but it's like yes, but there's other things you're going to want to do on the side or in life. I would do that actually. A lot of abundance. I feel like that will allow you to build and do a lot of the things you want to do on the side. Even if you don't want to do it your whole life, I feel like it's a worthwhile endeavor. It will teach you a lot, and a lot of the skills you learn, like discipline and other things, are going to help you later on too. So of course, go with your gut and do what feels right for you as well. There's more for you than just being as, doing that one thing. But it's a great option, is what I got. I hope that helps. Mary 25298 asks, my mother just transitioned. How is she? Well, I just get the word well. She's great. Whenever there's a passed on loved one that someone asks about, every single time, like when I'm talking to them directly or just asking my guys about it, everything's good on the other side, if that makes sense. And if you've hung out with me on these lives, you've heard this a million times. But everything's good on the other side. Like, she's doing well. Any passed on loved ones, there's no regrets up here, are the words I'm getting. It's like you can kind of see the grander truth of things. So a lot of the human projections aren't there. It's a lot more love, a lot more peace, a lot more joy, and just connection. You can see the connection to the creator, if that makes sense. Not that you can't hear, you're not limited here either, but it's just more there, and you realize what you are, and there's peace, if that makes sense. So all is well up there. She's great. Things are okay, for sure. And I feel like she's watching over you, especially if that's something you want. You might notice certain signs like cardinals or other things that signify passed on loved ones, or things that have to do with her, like songs on the radio, or just weird things that line up, and you're just like, oh, that reminds me of my mom, if that makes sense. So pay attention to that as well. But all is well there. Excuse me. Erica Herbert 6. Should I pursue healing? Overall, yes. I would also make sure you yourself are healed. For some reason, they want to say make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. I don't feel like anyone wants to get into healing for the wrong reasons, typically. But but if you want, so this card popped out, Archangel Haniel, and this is like a Make-A-Wish card. She's doing the dandelion thing. But pretty much what they say, like, if you want to do that, I would ask for it. I think you'll be a great healer. It's work that is meant for you. Just make sure you're doing it in the right ways that resonate for you. Like, you choose the modalities that are a good fit, if that makes sense. That is important. And you do heal others as you are now. You bring healing through your words and through wisdom. But the more you can cultivate yourself and grow that aspect of you, and grow your wisdom, and learn how to heal, even just for yourself, the better a healer you'll be, if that makes sense. And you're great. I think it's just like, I feel like there's also things you're supposed to do here, if that makes sense. So yes, and I guess is the message. Hope that helps. Charlord. Charlord, is my intuitions correct? Is my manifestation coming? Both are a yes. That's what I get. Keep at it. Let's see. Who else? I'm not 608. Can you let me know if M and I will reunite? I would say what I get, my body pendulum's going yes. I get high potential. Another message, if this resonates, is like, don't get hung up on it. Let it play out, if that makes sense. But I do get high probability on that one. If that helps. Da, da, da. Dun, dun. Empress 444. Hi, friend. Anyways, so the Empress 444. What guidance do I need this month? So we'll just do like next 30 days. Honestly, stay the course is the first thing I hear, but they're also showing me shark. First of all, I pulled this card and they're showing me shark, spirit animal. So that's a lot about shark. It can be about facing fears, if that makes sense. And sure, in the words of a practitioner, I will see like honor and respect, shark and like the fears, but maybe don't listen to them. Don't listen to the fears. I would face any challenges head on this month, and it's kind of like get her done is kind of the energy where you're just like taking care of business. Um, it's like the car won't be like, for instance, if there's a mechanic, because they're showing like a mechanic shop and like you with a wrench in a car, and the overall message, because it flashed by really quickly, but the overall message was like a car won't be fixed until you fix the car. So just like if there's something you need to fix or like work on, just do it, if that makes sense. It's like otherwise the car is just going to sit there, if that makes sense. um, I feel like you're learning and getting a lot of lessons, if that makes sense, like life lessons. So pay attention to that. I think like overall you'll be ready to move forward with even more wisdom soon. Um, okay, what's this about? So there's this angel, Archangel Muriel, with an incense. It says, trust your own wisdom, have faith in your psychic impressions. But like this looks like, for whatever reason, I saw this and I saw and heard the word offering. Um, and what I heard was like making an offering to the divine. So what is this? So like, even if you have, this isn't like a sacrifice, guys. This is more like if you have like a crystal and you go out in nature and there's a tree or you have an altar. It's more just like giving that crystal. It can be a tumble. It doesn't have to be super expensive. You don't have to drop $500 on a massive crystal and then like toss it into a river or something. It's more just like if you buy a $5 citrine or something that resonates, that feels right, that feels good to you and makes sense to you, and you're just like offering that either like to a tree as an offering to the divine, or even if it's just an offering where you're just like lighting a candle, and just saying, like it's like committing to yourself, committing to the divine in a way that makes sense to you. And what's this about? Even if this makes sense, like what I'm hearing is like the words like I'm ready to listen. So if you're ready to go deeper with your intuition, to listen to your divine guidance, just some type, like even if it's just lighting a candle, gifting a crystal, and just asking, like it's weird, like I'm getting things like what, like you're asking like what would be highest and best, or I'm ready to listen, but some type of offering to the divine that feels right to you, that makes sense, that's of course like it's all good. So what's this card about? I feel like the offering is there to boost your abundance, if that makes sense, is something I'm getting. So you're just like gifting a crystal to nature, but when you give, you receive, if that makes sense. I do feel like your faith is increasing. We have Archangel Faith here. With faith, you are invincible. Believe in yourself. I do believe that goes back to facing your fears as well. It's like trust that you have wings. Even if you launch really high, you can fly, is that message. So I feel like there's going to be a couple challenges, but you're going to be able to overcome them. I hope that makes sense. Empress 444. You are divinely guided. You will be taken care of through any changes. So I feel like in the future there might be a bit of a plot twist coming up as well. They're showing me a plot twist. So what's that about? I don't feel like it's this month. I feel like it's like maybe a couple months out, where it's just like life takes a surprising turn, and it's a good one. It's just like unexpected. It's like you're given something unexpectedly, or like the universe provides something out of nowhere, or things just kind of work out, if that makes sense. But it's like an unexpected turn in the path, if that makes sense. But it will be going in the right direction. I hope that helps, the Empress 444. You're doing great. Keep it up. Anyways. You're welcome, the Empress 444. I don't know what's going on here. Mindful Clay. This surprises me because you give off monk vibes, but not medium vibes. I am literally a channeler. And I've been told I have a monk past life, and I feel like you can have multiple vibes. But yeah, I literally, that is like what I do is channel and, energy work. Yeah, I'll post this on YouTube in a couple days, the recording. But that's not a call out. But yeah, I can see. I am what I am. Sammy Joe 39. When will my ex realize that we are soulmates? Honestly, I would move on whether they realize that or not. I do feel like there's new on the horizon with someone who can meet you on that level, and will kind of honor and respect that, if that makes sense. Um, I don't really get that you and your ex are meant to be together forever, really. This lifetime, I don't know if that's really the best option for either of you. I think there's better ahead for both of you. Um, so yes, there's a soulmate connection. That doesn't always mean you're destined to be with each other this lifetime, is what I get. I hope that makes sense. Um, but I don't really feel like your ex is going to realize it for a while, if that makes sense. I feel like it would take a lot to happen for that to occur. But you do have better ahead that will recognize that and honor it. I hope that helps. I know that's not always the advice or the message you want to hear, so I apologize if that's. And sorry, I forgot the genders wrong on any of that. Also, Olivia Lindsay 33. What is blocking me from receiving romantic love? I do get nothing. I feel like you're healing, and it's kind of more of a divine timing factor. Um, I don't know if you're quite. Don't shoot the messenger. I don't know if you're quite ready for exactly what you want, but you're upgrading to meet that, and at the right time, it's just gonna kind of drop in your lap and show up. I hope that makes sense. It's like you're not really blocking it; it's just not time. I hope that helps. Um, okay, what's next? And Brabs. Hi, good to see you. Any insight into the big changes coming for me? You're gonna handle it like a champ as the first thing. Um, I feel like anything that's happening is happening, like everything's happening to grow you and to prepare you for the future. I think you do have a bright future ahead, is what they're showing me. So changes are leading to better, honestly. I feel like just being, if you're present and aware, everything's just going to kind of work out and just kind of like flowing with the changes. It's kind of like taking each step as it appears. I would also try not to hesitate if you can help it. I think the more you're just kind of like going with it, and there's no wrong path. I wouldn't be too concerned about that. I think I feel like you know where you're going. I feel like as long as you're taking the steps you need to take, you'll get there. If that makes sense. Um, but it's almost like, and I get this analogy and visual a lot, but it's a little bit different each time. It's almost like if you're walking across a river and you take a step onto a step, it's like the next step rises up from the water and you take a step and the next step rises up from the water. So it's kind of like you're just going to gradually like be led along the changes and shifts that need to happen. And it might appear that things come full circle in a way, but it's more of a spiral, and you might feel like it came full circle, but you're actually on a higher level, if that makes sense. So I do feel like in a year's time you'll be a totally different person in like the best of ways. I think you'll be very happy with the changes and where they've led you. And I feel like there's more on the way after that. So I hope that helps and makes sense. But you're gonna handle it like a champ. Not to worry. Changes for the better. That's what I got. Hope that even helps. Thanks for the finger hearts. Read it by. Appreciate that. Or write it by. However I'm supposed to say it. Blue Wilkins, where's my marriage headed? I would be very patient with that situation. I think I do feel like things will work out or for some time, but just like be ready for it to go in unexpected directions. I think the words I specifically get are like it will work for a time, if that makes sense. Um, but I would give it space and for a time, try not to force it to be one way or the other. Really step back and like ascertain or discern like what would be best for me and what would be best for my partner's needs, and like is this really healthy for both of us, and are we helping each other or are we hindering each other? And I think that honest assessment will honestly like lead you to the best choices, both with like how you interact with them, um, and just realizing if it's a good fit still overall. um, I feel like it will be, but you have to be very patient. That's kind of like the overall message. Um, and be willing to work things through and be willing to sacrifice a little bit. I would try not to be too demanding. And I know that goes both ways, but just make sure you're listening. I feel like your partner is trying to listen. Um, I feel like if it's been rocky, it's going to smooth over for a bit up ahead here, but just definitely make sure use that time to really get clear on is this best for both of us. I hope that helps, Blue Wilkins. Um, and try not to force it either way right now. I think there's a lot of letting go. Sick. Oh, thanks for the sunglasses. I just saw that. Sick chick 79. If I can get the words out. I started to say sick. I'm like, oh, is that silk? I'm like, no, it's sick. So sick chick 79 asks, may I please ask if you have anything for you? Yeah. You definitely do have hope on the horizon and some good things coming in. I think life is changing for the better. I do feel like you have to be a little bit patient while things shift. But it's kind of like everything just shifts around you. I feel like in a lot of ways, you've done the work, if that resonates. And that doesn't mean stop doing self-work. That just means I feel like in a lot of ways you've done work that needs to be done for things to get better. And this is all from Archangel Hope is the card. So it's almost like you just keep walking forward and life just changes around you. That's the visual I get. And I think you might be in the limelight. That might be something that's coming up. That's what I'm getting with that card. I think, I know you're taken care of. I really feel like the universe wants good things for you. I think sometimes your job is just to open your hands and receive what's for you. And it can be as simple as okay, I asked to receive what's for me. I open to receive only for the highest good and the highest and best ways. What's highest and best for me to receive, and what's for the highest good for me to receive, and go from there. I think if this even resonates, and maybe this is just energetically, it's almost like you're reaching up to receive with closed fists, and so you're like, yes, I will receive. And if you're not sure how to, if you're confused and you're not sure what I mean, and you're like, how do I analogously open my hands? Just ask, if that makes sense, and that kind of can just energetically give you permission to start receiving more. Because I feel like you give and give and give and give and give. You're very giving, or can be, and it's just just make sure you're receiving back because you've earned it. You've more than earned it. I feel like you will be illuminated on the path ahead. What does that mean? The path ahead is illuminating. So you'll be illuminated because of the path ahead. Does that make sense? And they flipped right back to this card. So that's kind of it. I think your light is shining, or will be soon. And I feel like you'll be a guide to others, if that makes sense. And that's a good thing. You're supposed to. Hope that helps. Move forward with grace. And trust that you're on the right path. Anyways. All right, I need just a second. I'm gonna drink some coffee and. Hi, Sam. I am. Okay. Anyways, back to the reading. All right. Okay. Sorry, I just needed 1 second here. Angel Nicole 86. Hey, thanks for the finger heart. What is my purpose? The first thing I hear is growing yourself and others. I do feel like spreading love is important, and that's like being a beacon of hope, if that makes sense. Being someone who spreads. Wow, this is very similar. Let me see like what they say in particular. I feel like in some ways you're like a transmuter, if that makes sense. Um, I feel like you can transmute any situation. And I feel like you're great with faith, if that makes sense. Um, and the more faith filled you are, the more others are faith filled as well. Um, and this is going to be pretty common. I feel like in this like day and age, like spreading newness is something that's like supposed to happen. So I feel like the world does need some newness, but spreading newness, if that makes sense. I feel like you're someone who has the ability to bring people out of the depths of despair as well. Um, so I'm gonna try and like bring through more specifics. I don't. Hmm. So let's see what they say for you. I think in a lot of ways, one thing you do actually is show people who they really are, Angel Nicole. Like you can either act as a mirror, or in other ways you. It's like the way you are shows people things about them. Does that make sense? I think like you kind of shine a light into people's inner worlds, um, and show them who they are as well, and that can be something that can be healing for others as well. Um, I don't feel like you're someone who's supposed to like stay still forever, if that makes sense. I think that's overall like you might either find yourself moving a lot or going to a lot of different places. Um, but I feel like you're supposed to touch as many people as you can, if that makes sense, just through your presence. Um, because I feel like you're also someone who can bring gentleness as well. Um, yeah, I hope that makes sense. It starts pointing in that direction. Don't limit yourself to any of those things specifically. Um, and also let that evolve as well. There's going to be a lot more that plays into that. I want to try and pull from a different deck here and see if I start getting, because I don't feel like I'm getting a ton of specifics on it, which is interesting. Okay, first card out, Blue Dragon from the Pleiades prepares you to accept source healing. Healer. Healer, there we go. So if I were to get some key things for you, so I get like healing, illumination, enlightenment, which makes sense, showing people who they are, um, showing people truth. That's kind of some of the things I get, and sharing your wisdom. Those are some of the things I'm getting for you there. I hope that helps and expands that a little bit more. I was kind of like feeling I wasn't hitting it, or I was starting to, but that's some of it. Okay. Olivia Lindsay 33. How does Cooper feel about me? I I am getting love. I feel like there's Rainbow Dragon brings a leap of joy that opens new doors. I do kind of get strong feelings. I feel like if this is like a love situation, I feel like Cooper's into you. Um, and if it's, I feel like there's mutual stuff there, if that makes sense. Um, I do feel like this person is still kind of growing, if that makes sense. Still evolving. It's still transcending some of the old things they've gone through, some old obstacles, if that makes sense. So you might be someone who shows them a lot of light, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, Olivia. Patience. I feel like be patient comes through a lot with those questions, but that's what I'm hearing. Nia Vista, how does Melik feel about me? If this isn't someone you're already with, if you're not with this person, I would walk away. Um, I don't know if it's the best connection, honestly, based on what I'm hearing. I think there will definitely be people who care about you. I hope that answers that and makes sense. Not trying to bring bad news. That's just what I'm hearing. Um, Okay. All right, next question. Manuel Mendez Music asks, is there anything from the Archangels for you? First card out, Green Dragon, helps you tune into the secrets of nature, receive answers and guidance from nature, align with the divine essence. Pretty much the key showed up here. They pointed my eyes to the key and they said you hold the key to success. I would make sure you're taking action right now on your goals and hopes and dreams, and not just sitting idly by and either twiddling your thumbs or just hoping it happens. I think the more you're putting yourself out there and taking action on what you want, the more likely you are to succeed, and the more likely it is to bring it about. And depending on what you're asking for, sometimes yes, asking you will receive. It will just like happen, but sometimes you have to take action, and this is one of those times, is what I'd say. But I think I also get like Earth Dragon here. Clears your path and the land around you. Stay grounded, be ready to serve. Stuck energy is clearing. You can move forward in life. What I'm also hearing from this is like your path is clearing so that you can succeed. So like as you take steps forward, I feel like the universe is meeting you halfway or more than halfway, depending on where you're at, with bringing about what you're hoping for, if that makes sense. So anything you're moving towards, it's like the obstacles are being removed or clearing, or if there's like a path that looks treacherous, or a path you've been wanting to take that you're really not sure about, I feel like it's actually safer than you think, if that makes sense. I do feel like that might be career, but it's like, I guess like if there's a path forward in your life that looks rocky, but it's like if you actually started walking it, I feel like sure the terrain's not like just a smooth path. You might have to climb over a big rock here, but it's actually not like as difficult as it seems, if that makes sense. So like there's actually paths to success that are easy that look difficult. I don't know how to explain it. I hope that makes sense to you in your situation. So let's see. I would stay balanced at this time as well. I would just make sure you're not getting over emotional about certain events. And that's, if you are, it's okay. Just let that emotion process out, but do your best. Ask the universe to keep you centered. If you need to ground, I would take time to ground and get your bare feet on the earth. But overall, just make sure you're approaching things with a level head. I feel like that will help just in general with things you say and how events play out. I think that'll help you. I do feel like you're grounding a lot of new energy in. It's also part of the message. That can be through what you do. It can just be like as you're there, like downloads kind of come in from the etheric, and you're just kind of bringing new energy. But I feel like that will show up in your life soon, where new energy and people and things start showing up in your life, where you're just like, oh, that's new, that's different, I'm not used to that. But that's a good thing. I think in a way, it's like things are evolving and moving forward finally. Whereas you might have felt stuck in the past, because like the image I get is like there's a train on the tracks, and it's like there was something blocking the wheels or something, and like it's like finally like the angels or the universe or you kind of like get that thing that's like off the rail that's blocking one of the wheels back there, and then the train could start moving forward, and you're like, oh, that's interesting. So that's like something like that is kind of the energy I'm getting and the message I'm getting in the visual they're showing me. I do get that there's luck ahead. There's this little cricket, and yeah, there's the music and stuff on the card. Crickets can symbolize luck and good fortune. So I think as you move forward, good things happen. That's kind of it. And also take time to nurture yourself. There's this dragon kind of cuddling this deer, and I am getting the words like cuddle. I feel like it's just like, even if you're just like wrapping yourself in a blanket and cuddling yourself and just taking a moment, sometimes that's what you need, and it's okay. And they're showing me this bluebird on the card, and they're saying happiness is ahead. So that's a good sign as well. I hope that helps. Hope that makes sense, and go get them. Okay. Sorry, I'm hitting my like hitting my, I don't know. You know what's amazing, guys? I don't know why I want to share this right now, but like I was having this thing where like I was just like, sometimes I don't know if it's an old illness or something that comes up for release. But like it's like my neck muscles get really tense, and then there's like inflammation like in my gums and like around my teeth, and it was really hurting just to eat and swallow. And I taught our Reiki class yesterday, and then last night they kind of had me. My guides had me put this like these YouTube. I have this little playlist of Reiki videos on YouTube saved. It's other people's, and like I just ran it all last night. And now that I'm here, sitting here, like it doesn't hurt. Like the swelling's down. Yeah, it doesn't. My gum, it doesn't hurt at all. So that's cool. I don't know. Wanted to share that. Anyways. Little Ducky 233. Will I get more than one job offer? I did see 2 potentially, so potentially at least 2. But you will get at least 1. Okay, sorry, I'm just kind of going through the Q&A, seeing what I'm guided to answer here. Anything on Jason and I becoming travel partners? I feel like the desire is mutual. I think it's a match. Like they're showing me like Tinder, and they're like it's a match. So I think it's worth a shot. I think weird message like don't expect too much. I don't know why. I guess like the advice is like make sure your expectations are low and then let you be surprised, if that makes sense. Hope that resonates and makes sense for your situation. I feel like he wants the same things, if that resonates, whatever you're wanting there. But I know this is the advice very frequently, but it's what they say is like be sure to just let it play out. So I think it'll work out. Hope that makes sense. I would give that a chance. Banana Bell 17. Is there anything coming into my life work-wise? Yeah, I think you're gonna have to put yourself out there a little bit more. It's okay to take side jobs while you're building what you want to do, by the way. I do feel like you'll have work. It's just going to take a little bit longer. I think August you'll have more, if that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. That resonates for you. 88 people here. There were. Leanne Hill 5 asked, what are my daughter Hannah and I abilities? You're both clairvoyant. You're both clairsentient. I think it mixes up a little bit from there. Hannah can channel. I feel like you can too, but Hannah really has a gift there, or can. And here we have Aaron Water Dragon helps you connect with higher frequencies. Perfect card to pop out talking about channeling there. I feel like this is a bit of a side message, but you both have this ability to call in good abundance. I guess like I don't talk about karma a lot because I have a bit of a different take on it, I feel, than a lot of people out there. But I feel like you both, if this resonates for you and it's a message you need to hear, you both have good karma. You have a lot of good things you can bring in this lifetime is pretty much the message. Other than that, it's like you're both high vibe, or can be, if that makes sense. I feel like you both have an ability to bring change, and you know what popped out? The gold and silver violet flame dragon, all about transmuting and change. So that's kind of what I'm getting. There's more, and don't ever limit yourselves, because the gifts can also grow and expand and evolve as well. And if you want to get into reading cards, you both have that ability to read cards, to kind of discern easily truth, if you practice that. Anything else? There's psychicness and there's intuition. I do feel like I'm not saying you're not strong, but Hannah's definitely very strong. a weird message if this resonates for you guys. I feel like the more you're working with crystals, the more you're going to upgrade. Yes, there's other ways you're going to upgrade. Yes, you can still upgrade if you don't work with crystals, but I don't know why. If working with crystals might be something that draws either of you. Hope that makes sense. Thanks for the roses, Olivia Lindsay, or Rose. I appreciate that. So hope that helps, Leanne Hill. Anything else? So what do you say? Clairvoyant, clairsentient, channeling. Working with spirit animals might also be something that helps you guys. You both have the ability to be healers. I mean, everyone does, but as far as like a gift, I definitely feel like Hannah definitely has a propensity to be a healer. But Leanne, I don't feel like I've delved into like what's specific for you. So let's see. I really feel like you're very aware. Like they're kind of showing me like your empathicness or your clairsentience with like all the energies around you. I just feel like you're very aware of all that's around you, and you give the perfect advice at the perfect time as well. I feel like you have a knack with knowing what's going on with people, even if you don't say it or they don't really tell you. I feel like you can kind of just kind of perceive the energy and read what's happening. Like eyesight and clairvoyance are important for you. I feel like in a way, like you can definitely read energies by seeing, if that makes sense. That helps you out. Not that you're limited to that, but that's just what I'm picking up on right now. Interesting message. If there's a gift or a way of going about things that you want to expand into, like maybe you're like, oh, I would like to try channeling. Just ask. You're like, okay, I'd like to channel in the highest and best ways for me to channel, you could say. And you can kind of start to develop that gift. I think like there's a lot of hidden and latent like potent psychic abilities like telepathy and other things that I think you're still uncovering, but that's something you can unearth in the future and near future and start working with. Hope that makes sense. I know that went on for a while there, but hopefully that answers some of that. And there's more than what I said here as well. Okay, let's go. Hang out with chat for just a second here. Okay, Q&A here. Destiny Adara, do you know if my chakras are aligned? I do get mostly, I think. Maybe your third eye could use a little bit of love. Thanks, Lori, for the love balloon. I appreciate that, is what I'm hearing. It's like third eye and crown would be like two to focus on. It's like you're very aligned. It's just like a little bit more is pretty much what I'm getting, if that makes sense. But you'll get there. I really don't. I don't really see any major issues there based on what I'm seeing and getting. I feel like you're doing good work if you've been working on yourself in that aspect. Anything else? No, I feel like you're pretty good. Hope that helps. I feel like it's very aligned. Just a little bit of work to do. Hope that helps, Destiny. Yeah, you've been working on them so much. Thank you. You're so welcome. No, you're doing great for sure. Keep going. Lil Ducky 233 asks, need to know, is Amy a true friend? I'm unsure. There's like a yes, but I think like in some ways, yes, like Amy's really there for you, and a great friend in some ways, and maybe a little bit sneaky in others. I don't like the word conniving, but I heard that. So let's not jump to conclusions here. What is this going on here? I feel like sometimes Amy can be a really good true friend, a great friend. Sometimes Amy can be a little bit selfish. I think there's self-healing she's still working on. I think she's a great person, just sometimes not sure how to treat others. Excuse me. I feel like she can be a little manipulative, but she's working on it. Not a bad person, just someone who's still healing, if that makes sense. So it's like I feel like they're a good friend. I wouldn't like totally just like you know, end that. I think what's the message? Just hold space and realize they're doing their work. And if there is like anything going on that's like a little manipulative, just kind of step back. You can call it out kindly, um, and just make sure you're getting what you need as well out of the situation. Um, they were giving me information. I forgot what they said, so please repeat that. um, I feel like they can be a good friend, but you have to hold space. And just remember they're still healing, so they're not like perfect, but they're okay to have around. Uh, just make sure you're taking care of yourself first. Does that make sense? Um, Chihuahua 607. What ability should I focus on to strengthen? Intuition is the first thing that comes to mind. Um, Whatever that looks like for you. For you, I feel like it's like pulling cards and just seeing what comes to you. I feel like it's just like the more you're focusing on your clairsentience as well, and like just kind of accurately having that barometer of feeling what's going on with people or with yourself would be great to work on, because that's I feel like that's a key part of discernment for you right now. Um, as long as you're feeling things, with your energetic sensitivity, um, and working on your intuition in other ways, I think you're going to be gold. I think that's going to lead you very far. Hope that makes sense. So anything else? And as far as intuition, they are talking about clairvoyance, or just it's kind of like seeing and getting messages through sight, if that makes sense, or through visuals. Excuse me. That's my understanding, at least. Maybe I should look that up and double check. So I'm sorry, I'm on the same page as everybody else when I say those words. But um, intuition, clairsentience, clairvoyance, um, and really just discerning accurately the energies around you. That's really what I get. I hope that helps. That's a good place to start. And pulling cards, honestly, practicing that way would be great too. Aaron Noir, do I have spiritual gifts? I guess. How do I build them? Practice. Practice is one thing I would say. So I guess if I were to give like a really brief step-by-step synopsis of like a way to build your gifts, one is setting the intentions. And even if you're just like, all right, I'm asking that my gifts expand in the highest and best ways. That's one of the intentions I'm setting. Because then once you ask that question and ask for that to happen and ask the universe, one, it can just directly happen where your gifts spike and you're like, oh, that was easy. Two, the universe starts to line up events and people and situations and classes and articles and all the information you need to start improving your gifts and to start practicing things, whether it's like a Reiki attunement, or you take a Reiki class and it uncovers your gifts and it's just easier to be, intuitive or whatever. Or it's like you take like a how to read a tarot class card and a tarot card class, and you just find you have a knack for it, and you realize like, oh, that's how my intuition works, or just something like that. Because the universe will lead you into the experiences you need to hone your gifts, and will put you in the situations where you're working with them, and like you're like, oh, that's what that experience is. That's what working with my intuition is. Oh, that's what receiving a message from my spiritual team is like. Now I know what that's like, and that's easier to build from there. But then practicing, like, are you pulling up and pulling cards and sitting with what it might mean? Are you kind of taking your crystal grid and like, okay, how do I feel guided to put this together? Like when you're showing up, you give the universe a chance to work through you. You give yourself a chance to work with your gifts. And even if it doesn't make sense right away, it will happen, and it will start to make sense as you go about your journey and keep showing up, if that makes sense. And spiritual upgrades are also a way to hone your gifts. And I know this area is a bit interesting because it's like, you're like, what is that? Well, you have to find someone you trust, first of all. That could be like energetic attunements to a healing modality that can really give a boost and can upgrade you. And I don't know how to like, because this isn't like always something you can necessarily just go out and find, I guess. But like part of my this iteration of the journey where I started channeling and stuff, like 2017, was like I met this like, I don't think this is going to help anyone, so I don't know if I should even tell this story, but like there was like this whole thing with like an etheric DNA upgrade that I ended up, I guess, receiving, and that did kickstart and boost certain things. So like if that opportunity presents itself somehow, like maybe do that. Um, and you know what? An interesting, if you're more in tune and you feel energies and you feel confident and comfortable doing this, you might in a meditation one day just be like, Source, I'm asking for an energetic upgrade. Please upgrade me in the highest and best ways, and see like what happens with the energies. Um, because that's something I've been not toying with, but asking for and playing with here is like I want to build a course on like accessing gifts and offer that to you guys. Um, so I have certain plans there that might help on that front. Anyways, um, so that's another option for you. Um, but anything else on how to build your gifts? It's kind of like it's asking, it's receiving the opportunities and the upgrades. It's can keep showing up. It's so you're manifesting your gifts, getting better. And it's practicing, and it's honestly just keep showing up, and it will happen. I wish I had an easier answer for you. Um, it's just like sometimes you'll wake up and it's like you have a boost and like you take that step, and sometimes you keep showing up and you're like, oh, when's it going to happen? But then like after a while it does. But once you're there, if that makes sense. So hope that helps. Mini VDM. I would sign up for that, Brandon. Awesome. Yeah. Well, I'll keep working on it. I have a lot of ideas for that. I'm just still putting it together. Mott's Tyheim. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Ty, why does my relationship keep failing? I feel like if it's one person in particular, I feel like you most likely need a new person. Honestly, is what they were saying. Um, I actually feel like you're a good person. Take that as it resonates. That's what I'm getting. Um, and sometimes you just need to pick the right people, if that makes sense. You definitely are growing, and if something just keeps not working, I would definitely take a step back and just kind of look within and be like, is this even what I want? Um, because sometimes people are what we think it's what we want, but it's actually not, and there's something just more fulfilling lined up for us, or that will be soon, that will kind of bring us more of what we need, if that makes sense. um I would try to go within and uncover that and really sit with that. And like, I think if you're taking time to just be, even if you're just journaling out like your thoughts about it, like I think a lot of the answers will come that way. And I'm sorry if that's a boring answer. That's just what's coming to me to say to you right now. Um, I feel like in a lot of ways, if this is about one relationship, it's not the right person. That's part of it. And I feel like one of the messages coming through as well is meant for more. Like um, I feel like there's an upgrade in the style of partner that's going to be coming in for you, but also you're growing, changing, and evolving as well, and you're going to need something a little bit different um, on the path ahead. Because I feel like life is also trying to show you you deserve better, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's part of it. Um, but I feel like you are growing and you're going to start attracting better, is what I'd like to say as well. So I would keep showing up. If this is someone you're currently in a relationship with, I'd let it play out. But I do feel like the advice is like taking a step back. Just like let's, and I'm not saying you're trying to do this, but if you feel like you're trying to control the situation, I would like really let go and like give the other person as much space and freedom as they need, and go within and be like, what do I actually need and what do I actually want? And is it this? Um, but I feel like you're going to need a new person. I hope that helps. I hope that makes any sense and resonates. And I'm sorry if that is not the news you want. I totally understand why that would be. Um, but I feel like you kind of need an up. This is not a call out or down to the other person. I just feel like you just need something that's a bit more you. I don't know how to describe that, but I hope that makes sense. Um, all does. Thank you. Awesome. You're welcome. There is better ahead. All right. Like you're not stuck. It will get better. Um, KK22891 asked, is walking my soulmates, I really don't feel like it's like your destined partner, if that makes sense. I feel like it's someone who's been around in a few past lives. I feel like they're kind of a newcomer though, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that either. Um, it's okay to meet someone new and fall in love and have that relationship. Um, I feel like also quick message: your Thor's red, black, and gold dragon protects you in times of change. Change, excuse me, a time of rapid transition and transformation. Relax, you are safe. I feel like you're protected from making the wrong move in any relationship. I don't know why I want to say that for you, but that's like a message that's coming through. I feel like if Walkie isn't the one, there is someone coming in soon who does have a bit more of that soulmate energy for you. That's what I get. I feel like there's a bit of a connection there. I don't know if you're with this person, like that's perfect. I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong there. I think, but if you're looking for a soulmate, I think there's someone up ahead in the next year here or so that fits that energy more. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But not a bad person. Worth investigating as far as like a relationship or continuing it is what I'd say. Hope that helps. Oh, thanks for the sunglasses. I like that one. Thanks for the Rose Buckley picks. Oh, thanks, Olivia Lindsay. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Q&A. Oh. Did I answer this? Olivia, I apologize if I already answered this. I don't know if you can see me or hear me. It says I lost connection, but thanks for the rose, Olivia Lindsay. I'm going to try reconnecting to the Wi-Fi, see what happens. Oh, okay. We have connection back. Sorry, guys. It said it disconnected for a second there. Hope that, yeah, it was weird for a second. I'm back. Sorry, I don't know what happened to my connection there, my Wi-Fi. It is raining, but I don't see why that would affect it. Hey, how's it going? How's it going, guys? Oh, thanks for the sunglasses. Fernand Torred, will he regret losing me? I feel like he will eventually, but not right away. I honestly wouldn't worry about it. I would worry about the path ahead. There is better for you. And let's see, Deep Blue Dragon keeps you safe by clearing your pathway. Trust that you are protected. Walk on a path of light. But there's better ahead for you, is what I'd say. Read by. Are there any messages from Spirit for me? Yes, I feel like you are protected, but this is a weird message. But I want to clarify this because I don't want you to take this the wrong way. But it might be a good idea to ask for protection. And what does that mean in this instance? I don't mean like, oh, you're vulnerable, look out. It's more just like sometimes when you ask for protection energetically, it's like wearing a coat in the cold, where it's like if you're out in public and you're like, feeling all this stuff, it's more like you're just like, God, protect me in the highest and best ways, please. And it's not like you need protection from anything separate that's out to get you. It's more just like you have a bit more of a layer of buffer between you and others' energies, if that makes sense. I think that's more what that's talking about for that advice. But trust that you're divinely guided and looked after as well. I think Aaron Water Dragon, so helps you to connect to higher frequencies. Trust your intuition, develop your psychic abilities, be open to enlightenment, express your inner song. Now is a time to go up, is what I'm getting. So that's more just like you're connecting up to source. You're working with your spiritual team. You're asking for what you need from the universe. It's time to kind of just raise your frequency, whether that's just like you're sitting with yourself and giving yourself a moment to process. Whatever your process is, if it's working with crystals, if it's just setting the intention, like, okay, universe, show me how to raise my frequency, show me what would work for me. Not intending to rhyme. Sometimes when they channel through, it starts to rhyme, which is fun. But even like working with the violet flame might be a good idea if you're into energy work, and it can be as simple as, Source, I'm asking you to envelop me and the violet flame for the highest good, transmuting the old that doesn't serve me, and transmuting energies that would be for the highest good to be transmuted into whatever would be for the highest good for them to be transmuted into. I know that's a mouthful, so whatever works for you to set that intention. But that's one way to start working with that energy, and just to kind of start transmuting the old and elevating in frequency is that energy work and setting those intentions to work with those energies. I hope that makes sense. And here we have Fire Dragon, which is very funny and synchronistic because it burns up the lower energies around you, and what were we just talking about with the Violet Flame. But another card of you are safe and protected, be determined and inspired, clear your soul pathway. And another message is like, don't ever give up on you, because I think you're a better person than you realize. I don't know if you need to hear that. They are mentioning working with crystals again. Oh, we have 2 crystal dragons kind of popping out here for whatever reason. So if that resonates with you, I'd take just a trip to the local metaphysical shop. And thanks, Olivia. And I hope I'm saying this right by. However, I'm supposed to say that. But thanks for the butterfly. But I feel like you're on the right track. I think. I feel like you have a lot of wisdom that's unfolding that you've always had, that's starting to kind of like percolate and come up from the depths and be more accessible to you, which is great. I do feel like you're a very wise soul, and you're gaining access to that. So hope that makes sense and resonates. I feel like you have a lot. Here's the message. Like, in the best ways, you have a lot to gain in the future, and I think like there's like a golden opportunity coming up. And I know it's always like, oh, like whenever I hear that from a reader, I'm like, oh, a golden opportunity, what is it? I think it's just like, it's going to be very obvious, so I wouldn't worry about missing it, because you won't. In fact, you'll take it. But just make sure you're taking any golden opportunities that present themselves, is what I'd say. Hope that makes sense. And what were we just talking about? Accessing soul wisdom. We have Aquamarine Dragon from Neptune. It says, enables you to access your deepest soul wisdom. So that's happening, is pretty much what I'd say, or will soon. And I feel like giving yourself some quiet time would help that unfold too. Source Dragon attunes you to the infinite. Be still, and the silence. Magic can happen. Be in the moment. So that's kind of what I have. I think in a lot of ways you're on the right track, and I hope that helps. You're so welcome. Absolutely. By Noel's Flowers, how will D feel about me? I feel like there's a lot of love there, is what I'm kind of hearing. Love. I guess also make sure you're asking for what you need from that situation. Is something in the future is something I might recommend, if that resonates. Noel's Flowers. Hope that helps. Buckley Picks. I thought I had my life's purpose figured out, but now I'm not sure. That's okay. I would let it evolve. I think sometimes we're here for multiple purposes, and for one phase it looks like this, and in another it looks like that. But trust you're bringing all you need through however it like really looks, if that makes sense, physically. But the universe really knows what's best for that, what is best for that to look like, and trust like if it's shifting, there's a reason. I feel like it'll be better, and you'll fulfill your purpose more if you let it shift. If that makes sense. And it's okay if you don't know for a second, because like your soul knows and the universe knows, and you're likely being led onto that track as we speak, if you're just uncertain as things evolve. And you'll hit the ground running, because it's almost like I see you being lifted up and taken to where you need to go, but it's very like electric and energetic, and like kind of like levitating you over to the best path, and then you'll just hit the ground running because you'll know. I hope that makes sense. But I feel like you're someone who needs clarity, if that makes sense. And it's a little disconcerting when you don't feel like you have it, but trust that it will come, and it's okay to be in the mystery of life for a second here. But interesting messages like your purpose will resolve itself. So I think like just being in the moment and letting it transform will do wonders, if that makes any sense and helps at all. I hope that helps. Marper, any messages on starting my own business? Do it is the first one. I feel like you're supposed to. And this is another thing where like let it evolve. I think like the first idea might not be the best one, but it's like, but it will evolve into the best one if you just start moving, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain that. And this card that popped out kind of exemplifies that as well. Fire and Water Dragon enables your life to flow with loving force. Prepare for change and to move forward quickly. Expect the unexpected to have fun. So that's very much about flowing and letting things evolve as you start on this journey. I feel like you're supposed to. I feel like it's really going to help you. I feel like it's going to lead to a lot of like your desires, but you're going to have to stick with it and keep fixing things until it works, if that makes sense. And might not always be fun, but I feel like it will be worth it, if that makes sense. I feel like any ideas you have right now are great to start. It's just like pick the best one or the one that like really feels the most exciting to you and go that direction. And then let that transform as you get feedback from customers or from people that you provide the service to or whatever it is. And I do feel like you're meant to do more than one thing. You might start more than one business, or you start a business and then you're like using those funds to like work on this other passion project like music or whatever it is. But have fun. Another thing is like have fun with it. I think let it be a joyous experience and let it evolve you as well, because that can definitely be a path to self-growth, is like owning your own business and trying to grow it. And you're like, okay, what beliefs do I need to shift to become more abundant? Or like, what do I need to do to manifest what I need in this scenario? Or what will it take for me to hit this next level? And sometimes the answer is simple and it's just take action. And sometimes it's like very spiritual and you need to like manifest this thing and shift this belief to allow this to come in. It's very interesting, but that's just do it. I hope that helps at all. Oh, Desiloreno asked, I think I've, first of all, hi, I think I've seen you. Desi Loreno, however I say this. Any messages from my mom, please? I, first of all, there's a lot of love for you. I'm feeling as you're, excuse me, as she starts coming forward. Um, the first message I really get for you is like never give up. You're just so loved and cherished, and like the world does want what's best for you, contrary to certain popular beliefs. Life is always growing you, and I feel like another message is like she might have treated you a little bit differently if she'd known what was on the other side. I think I feel like if you knew what death was like, if she's passed on, um, you would be even more kind and loving and gentle on Earth. Because you know like what awaits you is actually very magical, and that doesn't mean like definitely live your life. Don't die right away. This is not don't do that. But honestly, I feel like life is actually going to start panning out for you. I feel like life is making a way. And it's almost like if it looks like there were mountains ahead, it's like the universe is smoothing them over into hills, if that makes sense. And I feel like if your mom has passed on, if this, I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Yeah, just last month she passed. I'm sorry to hear that. That's what I was feeling. But she's walking with you and helping you through the grieving process. Um, and also helping you to let go and trust and allow life to be a mystery at times, and trust that like the reason she passed on a grander scale will make sense in the future, even if it doesn't right now. And it's okay just to feel that loss. But you're very protected and guided very lovingly, and there's better for you ahead in the future is another message. That's and you're not alone. Even if you feel like you're alone, you know, on the other side, in the best of ways, you're not. There's a lot of loving presence around you and unfolding you, and a lot of angels also I'd see kind of helping you with the grieving process and kind of unfolding you in their wings. And I do feel like in a lot of ways the best is yet to come for you, but that's difficult to see when you're in the midst of loss. Um, but you are transforming through this process and will become a stronger and better person. But I do feel like she's sorry she had to go, but it's like it was her time. Um, and I do feel like it might not seem like it, but for whatever reason, I'm hearing for whatever reason, it might have been for the best. And that's kind of a tricky answer to bring through. And I hope you take that in the best of ways, because it's like, you're like, what? But I really feel like she wants to reassure you that all will be well and everything's taken care of. And you probably will be seeing signs from her. Like the message I get is like, and take this in the best ways. Like she's not stuck here, but it's like she's not done on the earth plane yet. And by what I mean by that is like, yes, she can cross over. She's there. She's good. She's doing well. Everything's taken care of. But I think she wants to walk with you, and this is in the best ways. It's only for the highest good. Walk with you for a bit more, in more of like spirit form, just to help make pathways for you and all those affected. That would be for the highest good for that to happen, and just to help you out. So pay attention to any signs you see, and know like you're very uplifted at this time. And if you can't walk forward, you'll be carried. So I hope that helps. I know that's. Um, I do feel like you will be healed. It will get better, and I hope that helps at all. That's what I'm hearing like from her. I'm definitely feeling that love for you and that energy, and I feel like she'll help you out if you need it, along with like the angels and source. So I hope that helps. Um, Thank you so much. I appreciate you more than I could ever express. Oh, that means a lot. Well, I'm grateful. You're welcome. Absolutely. All will be well. Um, all is taken care of. Whew. Okay. Okay. What's next? It's Stella59 asks, will I come into money soon? I get yes. I think there might be a few different things you need to do to start bringing that in more. Um, I feel like things will shift so you can have more money is something I'm getting as well for you. Um, I feel like it's going to come in just when you need it, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like you'll have the money you need. It's definitely okay to rest at certain points in time. Maybe not overly so, but if you're tired, like rest. I do feel like the money will come. I would definitely trust it. Um, I do feel like there's a bit of a flow to it. It just one of the messages I'm hearing is like make sure it's flowing, if that makes sense. So what does that mean? Um, like if you can afford to spend $5 on an iced coffee that you've been craving, I'm not saying it's the best idea to do it all the time if you're kind of penny pinching or you need to be more economical, but like trust that the money will come. It's okay to sometimes spend that $5 and be okay with it and enjoy it. I guess like the message is like make sure there's a bit of a flow with your money, and that's not to the point where it's like you're spending $500 and now you can't pay rent. It's more just like um, if you need like a nudge to buy a $5 something, it's just like trust that the money will come, and it's okay to put that money down. Does that make sense? And you know your money situation, very well, so trust yourself too with that. Um, I'm not necessarily answering these in order. I'm trying to go back to some of the answers and the questions in the Q&A. Excuse me. So I am trying to just kind of hit all the questions I'm guided to, and as much as I can do in a time period. But there's could be a little bit of a moment here. Bree Lee Rod asks, "Feel like I will be grieving this breakup forever." Give yourself as much time and space as you need. Um, so I feel like in a way you're grieving more than just the breakup. I think there's some ancestral healing that's coming along with it. That's we're just kind of clearing. Interesting message, clearing some old timelines and some other things. So there's a bit more you're like healing than like just you, if that makes sense. And that can go for everybody. If you feel like there's something that's just your reactions a bit more than you feel like it should be, it's like it's okay. I'm not saying it's going to be like that forever, and I'm not going to trying to give you permission to go off the rails if something happens. That's not it at all. It's more just like if you're like really grieving something or mourning something more than you either thought you would, or just like you're having a bigger reaction than you really anticipated, it's okay. Just let it ride out. And I think for you, Bree, even just journaling about it would help shift it, and like being okay with those emotions being there. And you can do the thing where you like write down like I'm feeling this, and you're just kind of trying to get the emotions out, if that makes sense, and process them. And then you burn the paper or shred it up and put it in the recycling, whatever your thing is there. But I think that would help bring some healing. Um, and also making sure you're taking time to just, this is a healing card. Blue Dragon from the Pleiades, it prepares you to accept source healing. even just taking time to sit with yourself and just feel and process it and grieve, um, I think will also make headway. Maybe don't get stuck on it forever. There's a certain point in time where you have to kind of head up, but I would let yourself be there. I think like when you let yourself be there, it can shift. Does that make any sense? I hope that helps. But I'm sorry to hear about that because that can be tough. That can lead to a big sad. Okay. All right, Q&A. Let's go. Oof. Okay. Tashay, in what ways can I connect to my spirit guides more? The first tool that comes through and is typically does is just ask. It's worth just asking, and putting that energy and emotion and setting that intention that can lead to a shift that helps you to connect with your spirit guides more. I do feel like taking time to just journal, also like with the intention, like, okay, what do my spirit guides want to tell me? And if you get something, awesome. If you don't, that's okay. Come back to it tomorrow. But even when you're just writing, sometimes like ideas and thoughts, and realizations can percolate, and that can be your spiritual team just kind of like popping those things in, if that makes sense. If something just hits you and you're like, also another tool I'd recommend to you to set the intention is like building a crystal grid to connect with your spirit guides. For some reason that's coming in like a selenite, or like celestite, like in the center or in the grid. Those are good crystals to connect with the angelic realms and to your spiritual team. I feel like just setting that intention and asking for that more, it's going to come, honestly. Even just asking like, what do my spirit guides want to tell me, and pulling cards, that's another tool where you're showing up and like purposely communicating with them. And yeah, getting messages you need that way. It can take practice, and it can take just keep showing up, but like even if it takes a little bit, it will happen, if that makes sense. I feel like energy work would be great for you as well. However you feel guided to learn that, whoever you feel guided to work with. I think that's something that can help open those faculties up and just lead to more opportunities to start working with those faculties and practicing that and honing those gifts. It is something you can do, so that's not the issue. I think it's just like keep showing up until it gets better. I know that's kind of like a potentially sounds like a boring answer, but honestly, that's like it works. And I feel like the more you're doing your inner healing as well, if you have inner healing to do, the more you're going to hear them more clearly, because it's going to start moving things in your system that just allows those faculties to be more like cleaner and more clear, if that makes sense. And I think that's part of why energy work is a great idea for you too. And there's more ways than this. Don't limit it to just what I said here. I think this is what I'm saying is like a great start. But even if it's just like at the beginning, whenever you manifest new moon, the beginning of the month, whenever your time is, like, just say, if you set the intention, like, okay, I can hear my spirit guides very clearly. My gifts are expanding. I'm able to receive messages with ease and grace. And you're just setting that intention and then just let it show up. You'll be surprised what starts to happen to bring that about, is what I'm hearing. So I hope that helps. AKA Papa Bear, should I try Reiki in addition to daily meditation? Highly recommended. My guys were just like, yes, or the angels were just like, yes. I think that can help anyone. I feel like it's always beneficial just to have more universal life force flowing through you, and greater access to that. And that's kind of exactly what Reiki does. So I feel like that would yield a lot of results and just faster shifts and healing. So yes, I highly recommend that, Papa Bear, AKA Papa Bear. Miss Ace 1, thought about my relationship. Well, this is a good card. I do keep going with it. I do, weird message. It might not be as bad as some might say, is something I'm hearing. Make sure this is a dark blue galactic dragon, helps you listen to the voice of the universe. What I'm hearing with this is make sure you're listening to each other. I think I feel like it is loving and caring and kind. It's just sometimes it's not. I don't know how to say this. Sometimes like it's like sometimes maybe each of you could make more of an effort, or could build more of a bridge to meet each other halfway, if that makes sense. Um, I feel like it's good to keep it going. I really wouldn't just end it out of the blue unless it's like really, unless there's some type of abuse or something not cool going on. I don't feel like there really is. Of course, you have the proper gauge of that being in that situation. Um, I would ask the universe to lift some of the heaviness from it. Is something is like if you want an intention, like if there's any heaviness or anything that's just like, or any funk, just ask the universe to like in the highest and best ways lift that, to kind of um, bring some grace into the relationship, to bring some ease into it. Um, setting intentions. Oh my gosh, is something you can do with your partner. By the way, for the relationship. Um, there was a coworker of mine. I thought this was very interesting, but she was talking about how she, because she was really into astrology, so she gets certain astrology symbols and like what they represented to her tattooed, like to and it was in a way it was like for her like setting intentions for her marriage, because she got something representing her and her partner, and then she got like symbols that were like, okay, peace, harmony, joy, and like all these things. And she's like, it's been a great 12-year marriage. So I'm like, it's cool. So I think like sometimes that can be a bit of an underrated tool, is like working with your partner to either set intentions or just bringing that into the relationship. And honestly, you can create anything, is something they're saying right now. So if you want to create better energies in your relationship, um, it can be a bit of a two-way street, or it should be. So you might have to work with them, but um, getting on the same page with what you want is, and like manifesting those energies can be a very beautiful thing. So I don't know, try that maybe. I don't know why that wanted to come through. So hopefully that helps you and whoever else needed to hear that. Kayla Elise, is it best I stay in my relationship or go? I would stay for a bit. Um, I wouldn't feel stuck, but for whatever reason, I would stay for a bit. But if you're at the point where you're questioning it, I would also sit with like, okay, why am I questioning whether I want to stay or go right now? And I think that'll tell you a lot too, if that makes sense. But I feel like it's good to stay for a bit. I don't know why. That's what I'm getting. Hope that makes sense. I feel like if things aren't like great, they'll turn around. By the way, Kayla, that's something I'm hearing as well. I think you both want it to work, and you both are willing to meet each other halfway. So I would stick with it for a time. See what happens there. Kayla, he does a lot of questionable things. All right. Well, I would stay with it and make sure it's something you want. I don't know why they're saying stay, but that's stay for a bit. But that's what I'm getting, and it doesn't mean if you stay for a bit and he does something like super out of line, like okay, yeah, bye bye. But I think there's more love there than you realize for whatever reason. I don't know. That's one of the messages I'm getting. But you're welcome. I hope that resonates and makes sense. And don't ever say anything that's abusive or anything. But and also trust yourself in the next few weeks, in the next month. If something just really doesn't sit right, it's okay to ask. Well, you probably already have, but it's okay to ask them about it, and it's okay to be like draw a line at a certain point if it's really not great. Sarah Jones, when will I find romantic love again? I don't feel like that's very fun. Sunshine. So a good sun, that's a good omen, the sun, sunshine, heal, drag. I know this card is about helping animals heal, respect, and understand them. But I do feel like the message is like the sun. Um, I do feel like you'll be hearing more about that too, either from like psychics or readings or things. I think there's more information on the way about that. But I don't feel like it's very far out, honestly, for you, Sarah Jones. I feel like definitely before 2023, if we're gonna go way far out. But I actually feel like it's before the end of this year. Um, I feel like wintertime is very promising for that, but let that be flexible, and try not to put all your eggs and hopes into one basket. I think life sometimes does have surprises, but it's coming. I really don't see it very far out. Um, I don't know. I just really don't see you being alone or having to wait forever. Hope that helps. Yeah, hallelujah. No, it's coming. Um, I feel like you'll have some promising prospects soon. But your intuition is definitely going to guide you to the right one. So I would definitely just not allow any BS to fly, if that makes sense. Okay. Just so you know, guys, I can keep going for a bit, but my phone battery's a little low. I'm at like 7%. Um, let's okay. Trying to find Q and A. Scrolling through the Q and A. Oh, fire crystal. Well, also, what is my purpose? What action to do? Weird message, but I feel like one of your purposes is like going deep. That's going deep with others. That's with yourself. I do feel like self healing is very pertinent right now, and like it's also self awakening, if that makes sense. I feel like as you're awakening yourself, you're awakening others, if that makes sense. Um, I feel like a lot of, not all of it, so don't take this too literally, but a lot of your purpose is like a bit of like an as above so below thing, where it's like as you shift yourself, you're shifting the world and shifting others. Um, as far as like a career or like passion, I feel like helping others is a big part of that. And that can be a bit broad, which is not a bad thing. But as long as you feel like you are directly being of assistance to others, I think you'll feel more fulfilled. And I would do your best not to stick yourself behind a desk too often, as far as jobs go. I think that will like just not work forever. It's okay as a temporary solution, but maybe not in like the long haul. Um, let's see. I feel like healing work is great for you. I feel like that can be a bit of a calling for you, a bit of a good vocation. Um, but I do feel like a lot of what you're here to do, there's like multiple things. I see like multitasking, um, and like doing multiple things at once. So like, there's no like one outcome or like way of being you need to do. It's like all of it, like all of it's important. I don't know how to describe this, but I feel like in a lot of ways the ways you're being is going to affect others drastically. So making sure you're coming from a good heart-centered place, making sure you're elevating yourself and like lifting others up with your words, um, and being a healing presence, if that makes sense, is going to work wonders for you and what you're here to do. Because I feel like your presence is healing to others. It's like just like the way you act, like your aura, it's just kind of there. So being just a healing presence is part of it as well. And again, it's very multifaceted. There's like no one way. There's not like a one specific task, if that makes sense. It's like it's all of it. It's all important. I don't know how to describe this. Um, but it's like realizing the way you're being has an impact, and then like shifting that for the highest good of both yourself and others, um, is really part of like why you're here this lifetime. I hope that makes sense. It's not the only thing, but it's one of the things. And again, purposes can be very multifaceted, um, and even multidimensional. So don't ever feel too stuck on one thing. Choose love 1111. My ex is asking me to stop my divorce. Is that a good idea? Here's an interesting message. I think overall it's like not really, but like to go more in depth, it's like I feel like things would get better for a time. It's like a good idea for a time, but I feel like it would go right back to the old antics, if that makes sense, potentially. I feel like your ex cares and they could be a good person. Um, but I kind of get like the puzzle pieces. Like if you consider your like if you think of like a puzzle fitting together, like the puzzle pieces don't like fit anymore, and it's like and maybe you're a little bit bored. I don't know if that resonates as well, but I don't know if it's the best option forever. Um, I do feel like like I know there's like a bit of ambiguity to the energy. So like I don't always feel like I'm getting like the most cut and dry answer. Um, but I honestly wouldn't stay, at least not for long. But for some reason, I think it's better for both of you, and I think you need to explore other options potentially and make more of your own choices. I don't know if that resonates or makes sense, but that's kind of what I'm getting for you. I think it's better to divorce overall based on what I'm getting. Make sure that feels right to you as well. Peacombs, will I find contentment after divorce 3 years ago? I do get yes. I think that's coming, and sometimes it can take a bit to resettle. I feel like in some ways you might be looking for something outside of you, but it's actually within you. And I know that can be a bit of a tricky area to tackle, but make sure you're filling your life with things that are fulfilling to you outside of love. And I do feel like you will have new love. That's another thing, but just that like that fulfillment, that contentment will come. It's just like sometimes it takes a second to rediscover ourselves and like remember who we are and like realize what we need after like a long period of being with someone else, if that makes sense. I hope that, because you're kind of like rediscovering yourself and like seeing how you've grown. And I know it's been 3 years, which is plenty of time, but I feel like if you're doing the things you need to do to bring fulfillment in to your life, the contentment will come and love will come as well. Hope that helps. If you haven't found love, maybe you have found a new boyfriend, but that's what I'm hearing. Yep, what happened with B Divine and Texas Chess? Oh, who are you trying to unmute? Texas Chess. Brandon, do you see Aura colors? I can, and I have. It might be a bit different than Aura Machine, but it's more just like they'll just tell me what the colors are that are there, if that makes sense. I do see energies, especially in my mind's eye, and it's difficult to explain how I work because for me in the moment it makes sense and I just do it, and then I'm like cool. So I guess the answer is like yes. I can. Oh, thanks for the roses, Olivia Lindsay. I appreciate it. Guys, so I'm at like 3% battery. I'm probably gonna end the live here. My guys are saying to end the live. I can do one more. Oh, unmuted. There you go. Choose love 111. Should I step back into director position? I do get it's a good idea. Destiny Adara, you're amazing for doing these for everyone. I love you. Thank you, Brennan. Oh, I appreciate you so much. Love you too. That means a lot, and I'm so grateful to hear it. Ain't a Banana 4-1. Will I move to US or Europe one day? I get more than likely yes, especially if you're moving that direction and wishing and praying for it. And like, I do feel like you'll have to take action. I feel like it'll be worth every penny if you do. Just make sure you pick the right country and between those options. You're welcome, Choose Love. Thanks, Olivia. Lindsay, I appreciate it. You're welcome. I can't read because my screen went darker because my the backlight doesn't work after 5%, under 5%. And Meadowside, thanks for these lives. You're welcome. You're welcome. Always tired. So that's kind of I do as like a general thing really quickly. I feel like you're all upgrading. I think it's like there is a bit of a collective upshift like occurring, or very soon. I do feel like August is significant for a lot of you for whatever reason, just like new endeavors, grounding in, new trajectories. It's a lot of newness. Maybe not for everyone, but for a lot of you. But I feel like it's a big year for a lot of people. Anyways, I hope that helps. And a Banana 4-1, probably Europe, honestly, based on what I'm hearing Europe. They're both good options, but I heard Europe. Yeah, water for sure. So guys, I'm at 3% battery. I'm gonna have to end the live here, which it's almost been 4 hours, so I guess that makes sense. But sending love, definitely the best to everybody here. I really appreciate you guys hanging out, and I'll be live again next Sunday, 9 a.m. Central, North American Central Time, so whatever that is for you. And I might do another live sometime in the middle of the week that's more of a general reading thing. So I offer personal readings, link in my bio on my website. There's a scheduler there. But whether I talk to you there or not, I will talk to you sometime in the future and hope to see you guys around. Everybody take care, all right? Have a great Sunday and a great week, and enjoy your lives, all right? Well, maybe that's a pun, enjoy the lives, but enjoy your lives. Whether you're going live on or just living your life, just enjoy it. All right? Take care.